Hello, good afternoon. My name is Richard. This is Matchday Live. This is Chelsea versus Arsenal. We have just heard this afternoon some really, really sad news. Of course, England 1966 World Cup winner Sir Bobby Charlton unfortunately has died this afternoon. So we obviously send our condolences out to his family, his friends, everybody at Manchester United as well. It's it's quite a sad day really. He seems to have always been around, doesn't he? And an absolute legend of the English game. So very, very sad news. And hopefully they'll do some sort of silence applause before the game today. But it is a big game. The Premier League is back. It is Arsenal versus Chelsea. We've won this game on the last three seasons. Can we make it 4 in a row? Let's have a look, shall we? Coming up the other side of this. So, Matchday Live, we say Chelsea versus Arsenal from Stamford Bridge. We've already got some people in the chat already. Nathan, how you doing, my friend? I hope you're well. He says, hi, Rich, everyone in the chat. Score prediction. He's going 2-1 to Arsenal. Okay, I mean, that's a bold prediction there. Terry there just echoes, obviously, the words we said at the beginning, RIP, of course, so Bobby Charlton. We've got Off-Road in the chat there. He says, as a small boy, I remember Charlton for England mainly. He was the international face of English football in the 60s, a superb player, decent man. I feel weird about it. Yeah, me too, mate. Absolutely. I mean, he was 86 years old, so I suppose it's not a total shock in that sense. But yeah, of course, it's a massive. When I heard it this afternoon, I couldn't believe it actually. And I was watching the Newcastle game at the time, and it kind of didn't really. I didn't really want to watch the rest of it after that. It is a sad moment, but there you go. Yeah, what can you say? Absolute legend of English football, no doubt. Terry says, good afternoon, Richard, Nathan, and Off-Road. Hope you're all doing well. I've got a good feeling about saying 4-1. Wow, I mean, that is really optimistic, isn't it? We've got Russ as well. How you doing, Russ? Good to see you, my friend. Hope you're well. Says, evening. I think it'll be a close game. Yeah, I do as well. And Nathan there says, evening to Terry. Now, of course, we have got your team news. It's important, these watch-alongs, we need your team news, don't we? Hang on, I've got a comment on there, which we'll just get rid of so we can see the team news. So for Arsenal then, not too many surprises, really. It's David Raya in goal. Back four, Ben White, William Saliba, Gabriel, and Alexander Zinchenko. A free midfield, Declan Rice. Jorginho comes in against his former club. That's interesting, isn't it? Thomas Partey is on the bench today. And, of course, captain Martin Odegaard, and the front three, Bukayo Saka, Gabriel Jesus, and Gabriel Martinelli. So on the bench then, goalkeeper Cole Hine. Don't read too much into that in terms of Aaron Ramsdale. His wife is about to have a baby. That's why he's not in the squad today. It's nothing to do with him being left out or anything else. That's the reason. So he's not on the bench. The rest of the bench then, Takahiro Tomiyasu, Jacob Kiwiora, Thomas Partey, Emil Smith-Rowe, Reece Nelson, Kai Havertz, Leandro Trossard, and Eddie Nketiah. For Chelsea then, in goal for them, Robert Sanchez. So 2 Spanish goalkeepers today. Quite interesting, isn't it? The back four for Chelsea, it's Levi Colwill, Malo Gusto, Thiago Silva, and Mark Cucurella. In midfield, Moses Caicedo was a player that we was interested in. Conor Gallagher is their captain today, and Enzo Fernandez, and their front three. Cole Palmer, who's already scored against Arsenal this season in the Community Shield for Manchester City. Raheem Sterling and Mikhailo Modric, of course, a player that we was also after as well, wasn't we, at various different points over the last year or so. On the bench then for Chelsea's goalkeeper, Dorda Petrovic. Reece James is back on the bench for them. It is Ian Matson, the defender, Benoit Badiashile, Axel Disasi, Leslie Ogachonwa, Noni Maduki, David Washington, the Brazilian, and Nicholas Jackson. So that's your teams in for today. What are we making of the Arsenal lineup? Not too many surprises, really, is there? I know Jorginho is probably the one. Thomas Partey is clearly not quite fit enough, is he? He played a lot of international football in the break. Maybe he's not quite at 100% fitness. Maybe that's why. Or is Jorginho in there to do a job against his old team? Maybe it's a Mikel Arteta masterclass today. We'll have to see, won't we? But yeah, I mean, it's not too far off what we all would have anticipated for the team. Chelsea have been in a bit of good form, haven't they? They won their last 3 games before the break. I'm not too sure. International break's difficult, isn't it? Because if you've got some momentum before, it kind of breaks it up, doesn't it? and you're never really sure how you're going to come back after that. But we'll see how Chelsea do. Obviously, we've been on a great run as well. Man City was, of course, our last game. Fantastic late victory there. So let's see whether we can continue that today. We've got Rajendra in the chat today, my friend. Hope you're well. 2-0 to the Arsenal. Well, that's confident prediction, isn't it? You get your predictions in, guys, before we start. The teams are coming out at Stamford Bridge. Nathan says, echo everyone's sentiments with regards to Bobby Charlton. Absolutely, mate, absolutely. Terry says, Rajendra, hope your party went well. Opera says, I remember Matchday in the 70s when I was at school. Charlton's last game against Chelsea. I think it might have been actually, yeah. I think it might have been against Chelsea. You're right. We got Joe in the chat as well. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're well. Yeah, I'm good. I'm very good. Looking forward to this game. Arsenal, of course, as we're playing Chelsea away, we're in our traditional colours of red shirts, white sleeves, white shorts, and red socks. Chelsea, of course, in the blue, as you would expect. No sponsors on the Chelsea shirts, of course, because no one likes them and no one wants to sponsor them, because that's the way it is. Joe's gone 2-1 to Arsenal, Saka and Martinelli. I think this is going to be a really, really tight game. I've got to be honest. I wouldn't be surprised if it was a draw. Of course we can win. We've won here before, but we've never, ever won 4 seasons in a row at Stamford Bridge, ever in history. It's a big ask. Chelsea have come into this game on good form. They're not conceding goals, even when they weren't winning games before. They wasn't conceding many goals. So yeah, I think it's going to be an interesting one, isn't it? It is going to be a very, very tight game. My head's kind of telling me a 1-1 draw, but I'm going to be optimistic. I'll go. We've won here 1-0, 2 of the last 3. I'm going to go 1-0 again. I think it will be a very tight game, but I wouldn't be surprised if it is a 1-1 draw. I've got to be honest. There's not likely to be many goals, I don't think, just the way Chelsea have been so strong defensively. We don't concede. In fact, we haven't conceded away from home all season, have we, in the league? This would be a record, actually, wouldn't it? If we don't concede today and we was to win, no teams ever in top flight history won their first 4 away games without conceding a goal. So we've got a chance to make a new record today. So if it does finish 1-0, as I predicted, that record will happen, which would be great, won't it? So, but we'll see. Joe says there, would you make any changes to the team? Not really. I mean, we don't know the fitness of Thomas Partey, do we? Jorginho, for me, has never really let us down. Okay, there was that mistake against Tottenham, but overall, when he's played well. He knows Chelsea, he knows the players, he knows the ground. And if Thomas Partey is not quite 100%, that's a fair enough decision. The rest of the team pretty much picks itself these days, doesn't it? When everyone's fit, that's the team that plays. Good to see Jesus replacing Nketiah through the centre. He's not quite up to the level, is he, that we need. So I wouldn't have made really any changes, I say, without knowing Thomas Partey's fitness. But even so, Jorginho's coming to do a job today. So I think he'll be fine. Rajendra says the meal was good, but I watched from the BBC app. Oh, good stuff. Joe says, would you take a draw? Absolutely, I'll take a draw. Oh, 100%, I would definitely take a draw today. Obviously, we can win. We know that. We can pretty much beat anyone in this league, but I will take a draw away from home against Chelsea. Yes, of course. Absolutely. Rajendra says, I'm hitting the light to make sure we score the 2 goals. Yeah, I mean, if you hit the more likes we get, the more likely Arsenal are to score and win the game. So we need to get that done early. Get it done early doors. Give it a like, and then we're well away, aren't we? Terry says, good to hear, mate, but we'll be blaming you if we lose today. No, we're not blaming Rajendra. It's not Rajendra's fault today. Joe says, would you agree we need a striker in January? Yes, I think so. But I've just got a feeling that the way Mikel Arteta sets the team up, he doesn't want to play with a striker, does he? He likes the goals to come from the wider areas. He likes the midfield players to chip in, Martin Odegaard, etc. And he's not, I would love Ivan Toney. I'm sure lots of Arsenal fans would. But I don't think that's going to be what's going to happen, because that's not a Mikel Arteta type of player. We may well buy a striker. He's only bought 1 striker in 4 years, so it's not like he buys strikers for fun, as some managers do. We are doing this minute silence now. I'm not sure, actually. They did them earlier on for Israel and what have you there. I'm hoping they do it for Bobby Charlton now, because I think that's slightly more important to football. It's more important, not into the world, but to football. Yeah, it was. I don't know what the minute silence was for, but you can have it for whatever you want. You can think about whatever you want to think about, and there you go. Rajendra says Mido is back. Mido is back. She might well play a bit of a part in the game tomorrow. We're looking forward to that. The Arsenal women, of course. Joe says, like City was before Haaland, sort of. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, kind of like that. Yeah, because that obviously that's where Mikel Arteta was at Man City. The way they used to play, obviously Raheem Sterling, who's playing today, got a lot of goals from wide areas, didn't he? Mahrez, and that seems to be how Arsenal is setting up now, isn't it? With the goals from Saka, the goals from Martinelli, and obviously Ødegaard as well in the kind of Kevin De Bruyne kind of role. Anyway, we're about to kick off. Chelsea get the game off and underway. They're attacking a goal to our left. I said all in blue with white socks. Attacking the end to our left, which is the Matthew Harding stand, isn't it, where the Arsenal fans will be behind that goal that Arsenal were defending in this first half. Chelsea straight away playing some nice passing football, but that ball forward, they're looking for Modric, didn't have enough on it, and William Saliba goes back to David Raya wearing a green top and black shorts, just for those interested in what the goalkeepers wear, as a lot of people are. Anyway, Chelsea trying to come forward now down this near side. It was Enzo Fernandez, the Argentinian. The only Argentinian actually in the Chelsea squad, of course, their manager, Pochettino, his fellow countrymen, of course, got a lot of French players, haven't they, in their squad, Chelsea? They've had such a big turnover of players. You look at their team sheet sometimes and you think, well, I've never heard of some of these players. Although they've got a few more familiar names, of course. They're coming forward, actually, straight away on that far side. It is Raheem Sterling inside the penalty area. He's held up, actually, by Zinchenko, but Sterling goes past him, plays it into the near post, but good defending there from Gabriel it was, but we've given it away inside the penalty area. Arsenal can't get the ball away. Good block there from William Saliba, I think it was. Oh, it was Ben White with his new blonde hair. And then the shot from Enzo Fernandez over the bar. That was a shaky start there from Arsenal defensively, a bit all over the place. Gabriel did well initially, and then it was Zinchenko trying to play the ball out. Or was it Martin Ødegaard? Got in a bit of a muddle. And after the first shot was blocked, Enzo Fernandez fired over the bar. Ben White there getting in the way of that first shot with a really good block, actually. And then the second effort from Enzo Fernandez went high into the stand behind the goal. But a little bit of a shaky start there. Raheem Sterling been in good form, hasn't he? In fact, Chelsea have got a sponsor on their shirt, actually. It's Infinite Athlete, it says. I don't know who they are, but anyway, there won't be anyone important, will they? Anyway, Arsenal now looking to try to get the ball down and get going. We haven't really got started yet. We played 2 minutes, but it's been quite a poor 2 minutes. We've just given the ball away again. Chelsea's intensity, they're coming forward. It's Modric. He'd like to score against Arsenal, wouldn't he? After all that speculation, they've got the ball out over on the far side now, though, with Cole plays it across to Cole Palmer. I say he did score against Arsenal, didn't he, in the Community Shield? So he knows how to score against his team, but that was obviously with Manchester City, wasn't it? And Arsenal have forced Man City back now. But we've just looked a little bit shaky, haven't we, in these early stages? We've given the ball away a couple of times. Now Chelsea come in forward again up this near side with Caicedo. He'll probably have a little bit of a point to prove as well, wouldn't he? Because Arsenal were interested in buying him, of course, as we know. But we've almost given the ball away again. And now William Saliba touches it back to goalkeeper Raya. And his long kick looking for Gabriel Jesus. But it's a good header there from Thiago Silva. And now it's Malo Gusto, the French defender. And Chelsea now back in possession. Enzo Fernandez on this near side finds Marc Cucurella, that long hair of his flapping about in the wind. Lays the ball off to Modric, plays it infield. Not a good ball, though. Well cut out, actually. Well covered there by Gabriel Jesus. Comes deep for the ball. That's why our centre forwards don't score many goals. Terry says there, Ben White gone for the pensioner look. Yeah, it seems to be, doesn't it? With his bleached blonde hair, I keep failing to recognise him. You look up and you think, oh my God, who's that? And it's Ben White with his new hair. He loves a bit of, he loves a bit of sunbeds and a bit of hair, doesn't he, old Ben White? You've got to love him, isn't you? Maybe just living up to his name, isn't he? He's got hair to match his name. He's on the ball now, Ben White, on this near side. Benny Blanco plays it back to William Saliba. No silly haircuts for him. He's perfectly happy with his normal hair. Plays the ball out to this near side, a far side, with Zinchenko. Cuts infield, finds Gabriel Martinelli wearing gloves. Don't blame him. I played this morning in gloves. It was quite cold. We've had some pretty shabby weather, haven't we? It's pouring out with rain here at Stamford Bridge. Saka now, pretty much his first touch. Comes back from that injury. Finds Jorginho in midfield. And just lays the ball out to that far side, Gabriel. Arsenal just starting to settle down now, find our passes. But that wasn't a great ball up that far side, easily cut out there by Gusto. And Raheem Sterling's done well again, actually, battling there with Declan Rice. Chelsea have been winning the ball back. They've been quite aggressive in these opening 4.5 minutes at Stamford Bridge. They're really getting into us and making it difficult, but they've just given the ball away there, actually, and we can finally get our foot back on that ball. It's gone all the way back to David Raya, coming up for a 5-minute mark at Stamford Bridge. no real big chances yet. Chelsea had that one effort from Enzo Fernandez over the bar. They had a couple of efforts blocked actually just before that. Some desperate defending really from Arsenal in the very, very early stages of this game. But other than that, that's been it really. We haven't really got into the Chelsea half yet. We've not really got going. Ben White now plays the ball up this near side, looking for Bukayo Saka, getting in behind Mark Cucurella. And the two are having a good old battle there, but Cucurella comes away with the ball, and then Saka's fouled him, and it's going to be a free kick to Chelsea. They've had some battles before those, haven't they? Back in his Brighton days as well, Cucurella. I always really rated him when he was at Brighton. I kind of wanted Arsenal to buy him, and I do think as a defensive left back, he's better defensively than Zinchenko. He can't maybe play that same role, can he? He's much more of just an actual left back, isn't he? He likes to get forward, get crosses in, and he's pretty good defensively, one-on-one defending as well. He's got pace, but he maybe doesn't fit our system, does he? And that's the thing, isn't it? There's a lot of players that I think us as fans like to look on and think, I'd like to see them play for Arsenal, but they wouldn't fit into our system. And that's the problem that we've got with the way Arteta wants to play. There's not too many players that can fit that system. So no matter what players we like, doesn't really matter, does it? It's the same with a centre forward position, isn't it? There's so many players that we would like as fans as a centre forward, but we're not going to get them because they're not going to fit into the way Arteta wants to play. Anyway, Chelsea are being really aggressive, and they've just won the ball in midfield, and now Enzo Fernandez just lays it off to Caicedo, and Chelsea are dominating this early spell, actually. That's a good ball from Cole out to that far side. Raheem Sterling again just coming into the Arsenal penalty area, plays it back into the box. Declan Rice is there. Puts it out for a throw. This has been a fast start from Chelsea, actually. They've been the better team in these opening 6 minutes. Arsenal just sort of hanging on a little bit at times, it seems. Some desperate defending, but Gabriel Jesus brings the ball forward. Now Martin Odegaard's got an opportunity to get the ball at his feet. Finds Gabriel Martinelli over on that far side. He's closed down quickly by Gusto, the French defender. Teams from the players from both teams wearing the black armbands. So I'm not too sure if that's to do with the Israel situation or whether it's to do with Bobby Charlton. But anyway, there's an Arsenal player down actually with an injury. Looks like it's Gabriel over on that far side. Looks like maybe an ankle injury there, and he's going to require some treatment. Was it Cole Palmer there with a foul on him? The ex-Manchester City. Oh, it was a bit late, actually. That's probably worthy of a booking, that challenge. In fact, it was almost an orange card, isn't it? It's not above the ball, so it's not a red, but it was very late, and he caught him on the foot there, sliding in, lunging in, Cole Palmer. And maybe the referee is going to give him a booking, is he? I'm not really sure if he is. No, I don't think he is. Chris Kavanagh is the referee, by the way. And Cole Palmer has got... Oh, he did get a yellow card. He did get a yellow card, fair enough. It was definitely a yellow card offence, wasn't it? I'll say almost an orange card. In fact, it was Gabriel Jesus, sorry, that got injured, not the other Gabriel. We've got too many Gabriels in the team. That's the trouble. You get confused with which Gabriel it is. All three Brazilians, of course. Gabriel, a very popular name in that part of the world. And we've got three very, very good Gabriels, haven't we, in our team at the moment. Off-road says that should be a red. I'm not sure. It wasn't over the ball. It was a bit of a reckless lunge from behind. I think yellow, I say maybe a slightly high yellow, I would say. I don't think it's a red card, if I'm honest. But it wasn't a great challenge, was it? At all. It wasn't a very nice challenge whatsoever. Anyway, he's got himself a yellow card, so he's going to have to be careful now, isn't he, Cole Palmer? But Chelsea have picked up possession again with Levi Colwill. Very highly thought of, isn't he? Young English defender. Big things expected of his career. Anyway, Mark Cucurella now on this near side plays the ball in field, but Gabriel cuts it out now. Gabriel Martinelli can run. He's had some good success on this stadium before, hasn't he, for Arsenal? Martin Odegaard now again finds Martinelli, this time on the right-hand side. Martinelli, unusual to find him over there, but he loses out actually to Mudryk. It was good defensive play from him, and now Chelsea can try and come forward through the midfield, and there's a foul there on Cole Palmer, who's just been booked himself, and now he's moaning at the referee, probably to say, why isn't that a booking? But not every foul is a booking, my friend. Not every foul is a booking. And let's have a look at this one then. The ball was played through. It was Declan Rice. No, I mean it's a foul, and that's it. It's not worthy of a yellow card, that foul, is it? It's just a foul, and that's it. And it was certainly a lot less severe than Cole Palmer's foul just a few moments ago on Gabriel Jesus. So he's got no right to moan, has he? Quite honestly. But anyway, we've restarted the game. Chelsea are back in possession where they've been almost this game. A mistake there from Thiago Silva's giving the ball straight to Martin Odegaard on the edge of the box. Oh, Martin Odegaard just ran into a little bit of trouble there, and Chelsea cleared the ball away. the one thing about Chelsea this season, you have to say they've been very, very well organised defensively. And you can see why when they lose the ball, when we've got the ball, they've got a good shape, haven't they? And they are a difficult team to break down. They've only conceded, I think, 3 goals at home all season, even though they've lost their last 2 home games 1-0. Their problem's at the other end, putting it in the net, hasn't it? Quite honestly, defensively they've been good. And again, a good tackle there from Mark Cucurella. And now Chelsea looking to come forward. Conor Gallagher, who is their captain in this game, of course. Reece James, I think, is a normal captain, isn't he? But he's been injured. There's a yellow card this time to an Arsenal player. It's Zinchenko. Again, a little bit late, that challenge. Was it as? So this is where the yellow card sometimes you kind of look at yellow cards and you think, I mean, that's a foul. It probably is a yellow card for Zinchenko there. It's nowhere near as bad a foul as the Cole Palmer one, and yet the punishment's the same. Which sometimes I can't always get my head around that. There should be something in the middle, shouldn't there? I know they've sort of got a sin bin in certainly grassroots football. Maybe that's what they need, a sin bin. If a foul is maybe worse than just a normal yellow, but not quite a red, maybe a sin bin for 5 minutes. Anyway, Chelsea are now coming forward. They're playing well, actually, Chelsea, in these opening spell in this game, opening 11 minutes. Raheem's turning over on that far side. Can he get the crossing? He does get the crossing. It's a good ball. Chelsea player was attacking that there, but it was a decent piece of defending by William Saliba. It was. Chelsea are appealing for a penalty. I don't know if it's a handball. Enzo Fernandez and Conor Gallagher are in the referee's ear there. But the ball hasn't gone out of play. I'm sure VAR will be checking this. We'll have to see. We can see a replay of it. I'm not sure what they're complaining about. They seem quite vocal in their complaints there, the 2 Chelsea players. But we play on. Anyway, Declan Rice plays up that far side looking for Martinelli, who thought he was fouled, but he wasn't. And Chelsea again have won the ball. This is the most aggressive I've seen a Chelsea team for a very long time, certainly against us. They're really, really flying into the tackles, closing us down quickly, disrupting our rhythm. And you have to say that's what, if you're playing against Arsenal, that's what you've got to do, haven't you? Because if you let Arsenal have the ball and play, we're going to absolutely kill teams. So, Chelsea have set up this game pretty well from their perspective. We just need to get through this early spell here. And there's going to be another booking. Is there? Mark Cucurella there came through the back of Bukayo Saka right in front of the dugouts. Martin Odegaard is speaking to the referee. Is he going to book the Spanish fullback? In fact, they're doing the VAR check now for this earlier penalty, actually. In fact, they're making him go to the screen. This is not looking good, is it? Because normally when a referee goes to the screen on the advice of VAR, they usually change their decision originally. Obviously, he didn't originally give the penalty, did he? So let's have a look here. It's William Saliba. It is. They're checking for a handball. If that's hit his arm, that's going to be a penalty because his arm's outstretched. It does hit his arm. It's hit his arm. I think that's a penalty. It's hit his arm. It has. He's gone like that. The ball's hit his arm. And I would have to say that is a penalty. I'll be amazed if they don't give this. I've got to be honest. He's hit his arm inside the area and his arm's away from his body. Yeah, that's a penalty. It's a penalty all day long. You can't have any complaints about that whatsoever. You really can't. It's just the header came in from Modric. It was, and it's hit William Saliba's arm. And I don't know why they're taking this long to decide. You can see quite clearly it's a penalty, and it didn't need that much, that many replays, did it? And you can see the ref's going to give the penalty. He has given it. It's the right decision. It might be the wrong decision from our perspective. Offroad says a penalty. Yeah, it's a clear penalty. It was unfortunate. Williams was going to head the ball and he's got his arm out. And as the header's come in, it's hit his arm. This is when VAR, to me, although it's gone against us, that's when VAR works. It's got the right decision. It's a penalty, and it's, if it was at the other end, we would want the penalty given, wouldn't we? Anyway, Chelsea have got this penalty. It's going to be Cole Palmer again, actually. Who did, I say, scored against us in the Community Shield. He's got the opportunity now to score again and give Chelsea the lead in this game, this big London derby at Stamford Bridge. We played nearly 14 minutes. It is a penalty to Chelsea for a handball there against William Saliba. The penalty is going to be taken in front of the end where the Arsenal fans are, behind David Raya's goal. I don't think he's faced a penalty, has he, since he's been Arsenal's goalkeeper? Let's see what he's like. I can't remember what his record is, particularly for Brentford. Anybody knows? It's not really going to matter too much now, is it? Because he's going to have to try and save this one here from Cole Palmer, the young Chelsea midfield player. Big signing from Manchester City in the summer. Can David Raya become a real hero and save this penalty? It is going to be Cole Palmer with the penalty. He sends him the wrong way. He sends David Raya the wrong way. It's a good penalty. and he slotted it in the corner, and Chelsea lead. And I would say, on the balance of play in his opening 15 minutes, they deserved the lead as well. They played well, Chelsea. And the penalty, we can't have any complaints about that either. And as things stand, it is Chelsea 1, Arsenal 0. The good news is there's a lot of this game still to play, but our run of winning our first 4 away games without conceding a goal has just come to an end. And even if we do turn around and win this game, we have still conceded a goal. So, but anyway, we are 1-0 down, and that's probably the right score with the way the game's gone. And it was a clear penalty. I mean, they're showing loads more replays of it now. There's no doubt about that at all. Terry says there, how long does VAR get to make a decision? Yeah, I mean, I saw one replay of it, and clearly it's a penalty. Why the referee on the side of the pitch had to look at it 4 or 5 times, I don't know. Yes, these are big decisions in big games, of course. You want them to get it right, but that was just an obvious one. There was no question about it. It was clearly handball. It was clearly a penalty from one replay. That's all you need. I don't know why they take so long. It spoils the game, but anyway, they got the decision right ultimately, and I suppose that's what matters. Off-road says our keepers never seem to save penalties. No, they don't, do they? They don't. I don't know what our goalkeeping coach does, but clearly they don't work on penalties, do they? Nathan says not a good start, but Chelsea have come out like a steam train. No, they have, absolutely. I mean, they've been right into us, haven't they? Right from the start. And we just haven't got going. We haven't been allowed to get going, to be fair. And Chelsea have really come out for this game. They're well up for this game. And now, what the difficulty for Arsenal is, we're coming up against a Chelsea team that are very, very well organised defensively and do not concede many goals. And it's going to be really difficult for us now, isn't it, to get a result here. But we do have the quality, don't we, in the final third, and I'm sure chances will come as the game goes on. But it's been a difficult first, 16 and a half minutes at Stamford Bridge. It is Chelsea 1, Arsenal 0, that penalty from Cole Palmer. And you have to say Chelsea deserved that. They do. And they are winning 1-0. But there's plenty of times, we say, left in this game. So we don't need to panic yet, do we? We just, let's see if we can get back in it. Ben White up his near side, plays a nice 1-2 with Bukayo Saka. Saka gets a little bit lucky with that deflection, but he gets the ball back there. He tries to go around the outside of Mark Cucurella, who does foul him, but I think the ball had already gone out anyway for a throw. And Cucurella seems well up for this game, doesn't he? He always, I mean, I don't watch much of him. I just obviously watched him play against Arsenal a few times in his various different clubs, and he's always been a threat. He's always played well against us, and he's having a good game again today. It was right. He was doing his cross, by the way, led to that penalty. They show more replays of it. I mean, I don't know what the replays are about. It's clearly a penalty, and that's the end of it. Really, we just need to put that behind us and look now to try and turn this game around. It's been a very, very difficult start. 17 and a half minutes played, and we haven't even got anywhere near Chelsea's goal in that time. Their goalkeeper Robert Sanchez has not really had a lot to do, has he? There's nothing to do. He's had a couple of little back passes to him. They just put the stats up there. Chelsea have had 4 shots. We've had none. We've had no touches in the opposition box. So I was just saying that exactly at that same time as that graphic came up on the screen. So, yeah, really, really poor. Well, I say it's poor from Arsenal. It is, but it's more down to the good work of Chelsea, actually, that's made us look poor. We haven't managed to get going because they haven't allowed us to. And you've got to give them credit for that. You know, if you remember when Pochettino was manager of Tottenham, and every time we went to White Hart Lane, this was how Tottenham played against us, didn't they? High intensity, pushing us out of our stride, and 9 times out of 10 they beat us, didn't they? In those years. So Poch knows how to beat Arsenal. It's a different Arsenal. See, we made another mistake there. Just as Jorginho actually just played the ball straight out for a throw. They're putting us under pressure and forcing mistakes out of us. Chelsea are, and we're not able to cope. And it's not been a very good start at all. Chelsea got a throw now. Russ says there, prior to the penalty, Cucurella flattened Saka. Cucurella just booked him, then off the ball. Just booted him off the ball. Well, yeah, he did, but I mean, the ball already gone out there. I mean, Cucurella has been booked. You need to be careful. But anyway, actually, no, Cucurella hasn't been booked, has he? But no, yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, I didn't really see. They're not really showing it back too far, are they? But I mean, you know, I don't think we can look for excuses. It was a penalty, and Chelsea deserved to be in front. There's no doubt about that, is it? Really, let's be honest. They've been very, very good in his opening spell in this game, but Can they keep it going for the full 90 minutes? I would say probably not. No, there's just a mistake there actually from Levi Colwell. We was just singing his praises, wasn't we? What a great young player he is, and I'm sure he still is. He just made a mistake there, a slice, the clearance out of play for a throw to Arsenal, which William Saliba now has got possession just inside the centre circle. Finds Zinchenko, pings the ball out to that far side. Gabriel Martinelli scored that great goal here, didn't he? In the very, very early days of Mikel Arteta's reign, didn't he? If you remember. Anyway, else coming forward now is it's going to be the chance for the equaliser. Declan Rice puts it across the goal and it's just past that far post. That's the best Arsenal have produced in the attacking sense. It took us 20 minutes to have an effort at goal. Nice bit of play that was. The ball was out there too. Declan Rice made a good run. The angle was quite tight. He tried to just put it with it looked like the outside of his foot was it he hit that with as he was running into the box. Just tried to flick it, or he just flicked his foot at it, tried to flick it in that far corner, but it went wide. Michael's in the chat there, my friend. Good to see you. Hope you're well. He says harsh penalty award, and that's where we are with it this season. Absolutely no leeway is given for arms being in a natural position if they're away from the body. And I mean, to be honest with you, his arms out right up ahead of him, isn't he? I mean, I think that's a penalty in any day and age. I don't think it's just now. Yes, he couldn't do a lot about it. He didn't purposely put his arm in the way of the ball, did he? But when your arm's out like that, the ball hits it and you're inside your own penalty area, you can't really complain about it being a penalty. Harsh? Well, I don't know if it's harsh. I just think that's the way it is. And yeah, I think it's a penalty. You can't really do much about that. Terry says Townsend doesn't think it was a penalty. It must be watching a different game. Is that Andy Townsend? Is it, or is it other Andros Townsend? I don't know. Anyway, doesn't matter. It is a penalty. It was a penalty. It was given, and I thought it clear as day. Anyway, Arsenal got a corner. We've suddenly started to look a little bit brighter in the last couple of minutes, haven't we? We just had that opportunity there from Declan Rice. It was Declan Rice involved in winning this corner, which Martinelli's now going to take over on that far side, that first corner of the game. Can we get level? We did score from a corner here last year. It was Gabriel. The corner comes in, headed away again by Chelsea, but the referee has blown for a free kick. Maybe was that a foul on the goalkeeper, Robert Sanchez, potentially, and it's going to be a free kick to Chelsea midway through this, almost midway point in this first half. Chelsea 1, Arsenal 0. So is it Andy Townsend? Is he still doing stuff on telly? Is he? He's been doing that for years, hasn't he? Do you remember when the Champions League was on ITV? That's long ago it was. Andy Townsend used to do it then, didn't he? I've not heard him on the telly for ages, actually. Didn't know he was still. I didn't know he was still doing it. Anyway, he was quite a good player in his day, wasn't he, Andy Townsend? Remember him played for Aston Villa, didn't he, amongst other teams? Anyway, Arsenal now are in possession, just in our own penalty area with William Saliba. But the last 2 or 3 minutes from Arsenal have been better, hasn't it? We've had a couple of opportunities, and we're maybe starting to start to grow into this game after a really, it's been a difficult start, hasn't it? We found ourselves at 1-0 down with that penalty, and David Raya just kicked it out for a throw to Chelsea over on that far side. Arsenal just struggling to really get a grip in this game at the moment, but I say we are still only halfway through this first half, so there's no quite reason to panic yet, is there? Chelsea now are trying to play it out from the back. They've almost given it away. Gabriel Martinelli almost won the ball back. He was fouled, but Arsenal in possession. Martinelli guard there. That was neither a shot or a pass. Martinelli's got a whack on his ankle, and he is now down and going to probably need some treatment now. It was a full-blooded tackle, actually, from Thiago Silva. He probably did win the ball, but he clearly caught Martinelli as well, the 2 Brazilians there. I mean, that's a committed tackle, that, isn't it, from the Chelsea defender. He did win the ball, actually. That was a decent tackle, you've got to say. But anyway, Martinelli has come off with a knock on his ankle, and it's going to be, well, I just think Chelsea were in possession, wasn't they? In fact, he hasn't needed treatment. He's just got back to his feet again with the help of Zinchenko. Rajendra says there's sometimes you need your arms out for balance. No, you do, absolutely. I mean, it wasn't so much that was he was trying to head the ball and his arm was just out. But I mean, I don't see how that isn't a penalty in those circumstances there when he's put a header towards goal and his arm's away from his body at an unusual angle and it's hit his arm and stopped the momentum of the ball from going towards the goal. I mean, to me, it's a definite penalty. But anyway, you're right. Your arms sometimes are out for balance. Absolutely. Nathan says, I agree with Janja, but nowadays it is a penalty. Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I don't know any time when that maybe wouldn't have been a penalty. if the referee sees it, obviously originally he didn't see it, did he? It was VAR that saw it, alerted him to it, and he's seen the replays and he's given it. I don't know why it took him so long, but anyway, I think that's a penalty in any day and age. If the referee sees it previously before VAR, I think that's a penalty anyway. His arm's out, it's hit his arm, and the ball was going towards the goal. Anyway, the Chelsea goalkeeper's come right out of his box, cross in there, but again, you see Arsenal not having a natural centre forward. Nobody's in the box, but we still managed to keep possession. Jorginho finds Saka, but he couldn't get the ball forward. But there you go. You see, the Chelsea goalkeeper came out on this near side, didn't get the ball. It was put into the box. It was a nice ball into the box. There's no Arsenal player in the penalty area because we don't play with a proper centre forward. And in those circumstances, you've got a centre forward there. He's in the box, and he may well have got an opportunity to score. There was no one in there for Arsenal, and Chelsea managed to clear the ball away quite comfortably. And that is sometimes the problem of playing the system that we play. If you're going to play that system, then sometimes your midfield players or your wide players have got to make a run into the box, haven't they? Put some bodies in there. Anyway, Arsenal now coming forward again on this near side. Ben White finds Bukayo Saka. Ben White gets it back again, pulls it back towards the edge of the 6-yard box. Gabriel Jesus shot on the turn. Good defending again from Thiago Silva. Again, coming up against a fellow Brazilian. And that was a good piece of defending again from Thiago Silva. He used all his experience there, didn't he? That cross came in. He wouldn't let Gabriel Jesus turn away from him. It is a corner though to Arsenal, and I say this is much better. This last 10 minutes has been a lot better from Arsenal. Bukayo Saka is going to take this corner on at the near side in front of the Chelsea fans. Behind that goal, can Arsenal get the equaliser here? The corner comes in towards the edge of the 6-yard box. Again, it's a Chelsea head who gets it clear, but Arsenal still in possession now. On the edge of the box, Gabriel Jesus, but it's Cucurella who tackles him. And now Chelsea have got a chance of a counter-attack. They're coming forward over on that far side with Gusto. Martinelli's battling back. Great defensive play there from Martinelli. Worked so hard to get back. And now he brings the ball away, but he's actually lost it again to Gusto and then fouls him. That was great work from Martinelli there. Chasing back, doing his defensive duties, which is exactly what the manager wants him to do. And that stopped what would have been, or what was looking like, a very dangerous counter-attack. I mean, he was miles behind. He was, 5 to 10 yards behind Martinelli. He caught up, won the ball, and instead of just passing it simply when he could have done to Jorginho, he tried to do too much and ended up fouling the Chelsea defender, and it is a free kick in a reasonably dangerous position as well over on that far side. It's about, 5-10 yards in from that far touchline, just in line with a penalty. It's going to be Conor Gallagher with a Alice band in his hair who's going to take this free kick for Chelsea. We need to defend this well, don't we? We don't really want to go 2-0 down, do we, at this point in the game, coming up to the 28-minute mark. The free kick comes in. Well, it's just about defended well by Arsenal, and Gabriel Martinelli's clearance hits a Chelsea player and has knocked him over, actually. It was Conor Gallagher, in actual fact. And he's gone down on the edge of the box, and Arsenal now with a counter-attacking opportunity, but that wasn't a great ball. And Cucurella is across. And Gallagher looks like he's been winded there. I think that clearance from Martinelli hit him right in the belly there. We'll see it here. It's just under the rib cage there. That's a painful one for Conor Gallagher. He's gone down. You can feel his pain. He was very, very close to that ball, and it's hit him, I say, just on the underneath the rib cage. It's obviously winded him, and Mikel Arteta takes the opportunity to get the players in for a little bit of he doesn't look very happy, Arteta, does he? He seems to be waving his arms about in very Latin style, doesn't he? Virginia says, okay, Rich, we know you want a centre forward. Well, it's not me. We need a centre forward, don't we? We need a centre forward. That's what we need. So that's that's the fact of the matter, isn't it? I think that's the one position that we're short of in terms of us being a real top team, lacking that centre forward. And that's the way it is. We need to get one, and I'm not the only one who thinks we need a centre forward. I mean, most people do, don't they? Let's hope January brings one. I know which one I would like, but let's see. It's not our decision, is it? It's the manager's decision to make, and let's see what happens. Anyway, Chelsea coming forward again. This is good play again from Conor Gallagher. They got a runner through the centre. It is Modric. Tries a shot. It's just wide. In fact, it wasn't Modric. It was Cole Palmer again. He's been dangerous, hasn't he? Almost fired it into the top corner. The bottom right-hand corner of the net. A good move, though, from Chelsea. Conor Gallagher is having a great game. I remember that game he had for Crystal Palace against us a couple of years ago, and that was a good shot actually from Palmer, the goal scorer. Almost get his second one there. Oh, it just bent away at the last minute, actually. That was almost going to creep in that far corner. We're a bit lucky there, actually. Offroad says they're not on it today. Arteta needs to have a serious scream at half time. No, we're not on it today at all. You're right. But I say I'm saying a lot of that's giving credit to Chelsea for the way that they've approached this game. They've not allowed us to settle. And they look very dangerous in possession, don't they? They do. They could have scored 2 or 3 goals. And Cole Palmer has been at the heart of most of it, actually, hasn't he? And he was unlucky not to get his second goal there. Arsenal hanging on a little bit here. We're coming up to the half-hour mark at Stamford Bridge. It is Chelsea 1, Arsenal 0, and Arsenal, not really on it at all. But anyway, Martinelli now looking to change that over on that far side. But again, Chelsea deal with that pretty well. Again, Thiago Silva defensively was very strong. And it was Colwell who came across there, completed the clearance. So is it going to be a corner to Arsenal or is it a throw? It is a corner over on that far side. A corner to Arsenal. Martinelli's going to take it again. There's all the Chelsea fans behind that goal. Can Arsenal get an equaliser here? Martin Odegaard comes across for a short corner, but I think Martinelli's going to take it. No, he doesn't. He leaves it to Martinelli. Now has got it back again from Odegaard. Jorginho, he'd love to score, wouldn't he, against his old club? Dinks the ball into the box. Header comes in at the far post from Gabriel, but Chelsea again scramble it clear. And then the ball is now played all the way back to David Raya. That was from an Arsenal corner, and David Raya now has to go long up that far side, but it's too high. It's gone out for a throw to Chelsea. Terry says Gallagher, since his man bun has turned into a tart. Well, I don't know. He's got an Alice band in today, not a man bun anymore. But these young'uns, they like to mess about with their hair, don't they? Look at Ben White, what he's done to his hair today. Anyway, Arsenal now are in possession, but facing our own goal. And it is now with William Saliba. It was his handball that gave Chelsea the penalty from which they lead. He was unlucky to the ball hit his arm. He was unlucky, there's no doubt about that. But unfortunately, it was a penalty. Anyway, he's got the ball again now, William Saliba. And he's going to play across the field to Jorginho, the Italian. So back on his old home pitch, of course, here at Stamford Bridge, where he played for Chelsea. As we know, there's been so many players, hasn't there, certainly in recent years, that have played for Arsenal and Chelsea, hasn't there? We seem to have signed quite a few from Chelsea. They don't seem to have signed too many of ours, do they, recently? I mean, obviously Giroud and Anelka back in. I don't think they signed Anelka directly from us, did they? There's been so many, hasn't there? I was looking at it the other day. I think there's about like 30 odd players that played for both Arsenal and Chelsea. And most of them seem to have been in the last few years, probably since the Ashley Cole kind of time. When there seem to be since then, there seems to have been a lot of players moving between Arsenal and Chelsea, hasn't there? And of course, Kai Havertz as well, who is currently on the bench today for Arsenal. Another, of course, former Chelsea player that we've got in our team, following on from the likes of Petr Cech and William Gallas, David Luiz, and there's been loads, isn't there? Not too many of them have been a real success at Arsenal. I thought David Luiz was quite underrated when he was at Arsenal. Actually, I thought he was pretty good, but not too many of the Chelsea players that we've bought recently have really worked out successfully, have they? I think the jury's definitely out on Kai Havertz, and even maybe Jorginho to a certain degree. I think Jorginho is okay. I think he's a good player, and he's done okay for us, but we haven't really. None of the ex-Chelsea players have really done that great, have they? Maybe Petr Cech, maybe decent, wasn't he? Won the Golden Gloves. Anyway, Arsenal are coming forward now, but Bukayo Saka plays the ball forward to Martin Odegaard, lays it off to Ben White on this near side. Ben White gets a cross away over to that far side, all the way across to Gabriel Jesus, runs into Raheem Sterling, and then Gusto comes away with the ball, finds at Sterling again. And Chelsea really have defended pretty well. We haven't had too many. We haven't gotten behind them too much, have we? Just that one opportunity for Declan Rice, fired it across the goal, and there was an earlier effort as well, wasn't there, that didn't really trouble the goalkeeper. In fact, I don't think the goalkeeper's had a save to make, has he? Robert Sanchez. In fact, I mean, to be fair, David Raya hasn't really had a save to make. I've read it. Chelsea have had obviously the goal from the penalty spot. They've had one or two other opportunities, but they've not really tested. Neither goalkeeper has really been tested in these opening 35 minutes we've played. and it's not been a very good 35 minutes from Arsenal, you have to say. In fact, it's been a really poor 35 minutes from Arsenal overall. Cucurella now on his near side for Chelsea, plays it back to Colwill, and he goes back to his goalkeeper Sanchez, who's had the ball at his feet more. He's touched it more with his feet than with his hands in these opening 35 minutes, and that's a long clearance, but that's going to go all the way through to David Raya, the two goalkeepers exchanging passes there. You don't see that very often, do you? Obviously, the wind probably playing a part in that. I'm assuming it's still windy down there in London. It's certainly been windy the last couple of days, hasn't it? Anyway, Arsenal now again lose the ball in midfield, and Chelsea can spring forward. Mudryk there heads it down, and this is good play from Enzo Fernandez. Comes to the edge of the box. He thought about a shot actually. Good defending from Declan Rice, but Enzo Fernandez keeps hold of the ball. He does really well actually in a tight space, and now it's with Conor Gallagher, and Chelsea are in control of this game. You have to say they pretty much in control, and they're coming forward again. Off-road says their party needs to come on second half. Jorginho off. Yeah, Jorginho hasn't had a great first half, has he? I mean, I wouldn't say he's the only one. It's been a pretty flat, poor Arsenal performance all round, hasn't it, really? But, yeah, maybe. We don't know how long Partey's got in him, do we? Cucurella's just gone down injured there. A kick there from Bukayo Saka. Those two, again, have had a bit of a battle, haven't they, in this first half? I say they've had one or two battles in the past as well. That was a little bit late from Saka, actually. See, that's probably almost a booking as well, isn't it? When you look at a couple of the other bookings that we've seen in this first half, that was probably a booking. But anyway, luckily Saka didn't get one. And Chelsea now have a long ball forward from Thiago Silva looking for Mudryk, but it's a good header from Ben White. He looks strange with that hair, doesn't he? I just can't get used to it. Anyway, it's going to be a throw to Chelsea on this near side in front of the Arsenal dugout. It's going to be Marc Cucurella to take it, just throws it in field short to Enzo Fernandez. That's a poor ball from him. Give it straight to Gabriel Jesus. But again, Arsenal can't really make the most of that. And Chelsea get away with it. In fact, Gusto got away with that miskick clearance. And now Chelsea can actually come forward again over on that far side. Cole Palmer it is. He's been very, very influential in this first half, hasn't it? It's his goal from the penalty spot. That's a nice ball again into the area. It's flicked on. There's an opportunity here for Chelsea in behind Conor Gallagher. Good save from David Raya. And Arsenal's defending there really, really poor. In fact, he may have been offside, was he, Conor Gallagher? I think he might have been offside. He made that run in behind. He was just offside, yeah. Only just, though. And it turned out to be a good save from David Raya, but he wouldn't have counted anyway because he was offside. But, yeah, another let-off for Arsenal, really, because we've just not been on our game at all in this first half. But we're coming forward now. William Saliba thinks the ball out of his near side, looking for the run of Ben White, but that touch is a little bit too heavy, and Cucurella can take the ball off him and play it up this near side as well. And Declan Rice and Enzo Fernandez there. Sorry, William Saliba comes away with the ball, and Arsenal now looking to see if we can get this equaliser before half time. Gabriel lays it off to Declan Rice. Now Jorginho pings the ball out to that far side. Gabriel Martinelli, he's going to have a run this time at Gusto. He's got some strange hair as well, hasn't he? Gusto with his cornrows, whatever it is. Anyway, a back heel there on the edge of the box from Zinchenko. Didn't quite come off, and Chelsea cleared the ball away. But Arsenal now looking to build a little bit of momentum here as we come towards the last 5-6 minutes of this first half. Saka now on this near side finds William Saliba, dinks the ball over to that far side. Flicked on there by Declan Rice, finds Gabriel Martinelli over on the far side. Martinelli plays it back into Declan Rice again. Back to Zinchenko. Sorry, this is the best spell of possession Arsenal had in Chelsea's half. Coming forward now, William Saliba plays it out to this near side to Bukayo Saka. Again, he's got Cucurella for company, and that wasn't a great ball actually. But Arsenal win it back today with Martin Odegaard. No, they don't. The referee has given a free kick. It was a foul on Mudryk, who actually hasn't had a bad first half, has he? The Ukrainian. A lot of criticism, of course, he's had since he joined Chelsea. Mainly from Arsenal fans who maybe a little bit bitter that he chose Chelsea instead of Arsenal. But anyway, he's not had a bad first half, has he? For Chelsea, in fact, all of their players have played well in this first half, which is why they're winning this game 1-0, and they've been fairly comfortable. But Arsenal now looking to get a big finish into this first half, into the last 5.5 minutes. And the ball's now in the centre circle with Gabriel. Just finds Jorginho. Plays it back to William Saliba. And then plays it out to that far side. Declan Rice bringing it forward. Lays it off to Gabriel Martinelli. Plays it back to Gabriel. Arsenal have a lot of possession, but not really creating anything with it. Maybe we will now. Over on that far side. Ball back in field again to William Saliba. Touches it off to Jorginho. Martin Odegaard tried to flick it through. Lack of understanding there with Gabriel Jesus, and the ball runs through to Robert Sanchez. And we've played 40 minutes here at Stamford Bridge. It is Chelsea 1, Arsenal 0. That penalty from Cole Palmer after 14 minutes it was, wasn't it? Handball against William Saliba, and Gusto there can't kick that ball. It's a throw to Arsenal. Can we find this equaliser in the run up to half time? Declan Rice, William Saliba bringing the ball forward, lays it off to Ben White with his white hair. Finds Bukayo Saka on this near side again. He's got Cucurella for company. Saka just lays the ball off to Ben White, plays it back again to Saliba. Arsenal trying to push Chelsea back, but not really able to get in behind them. Martinelli now on that far side. He's going to have a run at Gusto as he goes back instead. And Arsenal are keeping possession. Jorginho just touches it off to Zinchenko, very central, plays it into all the edge of the box. That's a poor ball, actually. Chelsea managed to get that away, but not for very long. Arsenal pick up possession again. This is William Saliba. Plays it back into the centre circle to Jorginho again. Thinks the ball over the top, looking for the runner. Saka, good defensive header there, though, from Marc Cucurella. But that falls to Jesus on the edge of the box. Oh, he's got that completely wrong, Gabriel Jesus. In fact, the shot's so bad, it didn't even go out for a corner, a goal kick, or a throw-in. Arsenal kept it in. The cross comes in this time, but it's far too close to Robert Sanchez. Gabriel Jesus there tried an instant shot on the edge of the box, and it didn't even go out for a throw on that far side because it didn't even reach. Arsenal kept it in. Anyway, that kind of sums up our first half, really, certainly from an attacking perspective. Anyway, Marc Cucurella now on his near side, plays the ball up the line to Modric. Gets it back again at Cucurella, and he plays it back to Thiago Silva. Pops it in to midfield to Moses Caicedo. And that's a long kick there from Sanchez up that far side. And there's a bit of a clash there between Sterling and Gabriel. And Gabriel came off that a little bit worse, but he's back on his feet again. And that's fine. We're into the last 3 minutes of the first half. Chelsea 1, Arsenal 0. Not a great first half for Arsenal. Chelsea seem to have, I don't know if they're preserving a bit of energy, but they've certainly run out of legs, run out of steam a little bit as we approach the end of this first half. They put a lot of effort into that first, 30 minutes or so, didn't they, in terms of pressing us high and winning the ball back early. But I say since then, they've maybe dropped off a little bit, Chelsea, and we've had a lot more possession, although we haven't created too much, have we? Or very, very little. And Chelsea now are back in possession over on that far side. We're into the last 2.5 minutes of this first half. There'll be a bit of stoppage time, won't there? Because there was that VAR delay for the penalty, which took about 5 minutes longer than it needed to. And so we're going to get some stoppage time, aren't we, at the end of this first half? There hasn't been too many other stoppages, really, has there? But obviously that did take a long time to get resolved. Anyway, Raheem Sterling's turned away from Zinchenko over on that far side. This is what I mean about him. Defensively, he isn't very good, is he? Chelsea now have a shot. Conor Gallagher just over the bar. In fact, it was Gusto. So the defender came forward there and fired the ball over the crossbar. He's got some weird hair, hasn't he, as well? That was good play from Chelsea, though. Really good play there. Zinchenko got far too tight to Raheem Sterling, who turned away from him far too easily. And the ball played in there to the defender, Gusto, and his shot was too high. But again, Chelsea causing us problems. Some of them we're not helping ourselves, are we, with some poor decision making and some poor play individually. But you have to give Chelsea credit for the way they've set about their task in this game. They've been impressive in this first half. We're into the last 90 seconds of normal time. I'm expecting 5 minutes of stoppage time. And Arsenal trying to come forward again. In fact, there's a free kick there. It was a foul on Gabriel Jesus. Not sure which Chelsea player it was. If it's a yellow card, it's Thiago Silva, actually. Just picks up a yellow card, which is probably an accumulation of minor offences that he's committed in this first half. and that one is one too many for the referee. Oh, he did block Gabriel Jesus off there. That's the work of an experienced defender, isn't it? A striker puts the ball past you, and you just put your body in the way and block them off. A body check, I suppose it was, wasn't it? But Arsenal got a free kick. We're into the last 30 seconds of normal time at the end of this first half. The free kick's over on that far side. Martin Odegaard is there. Plays it down the side actually to Declan Rice inside the penalty. Can Declan Rice pull it back? Oh, it's a poor. In fact, was he offside? Because he was. The flag was up. That was poor actually. You got to put the ball in the box. We've not got the ball in the box enough. And Declan Rice was offside. He went backwards and tried to sort of arch his run, but he didn't arch it enough, did he? And it's a free kick to Chelsea, and they're taking it now, trying to come forward. Up this near side, Conor Gallagher plays it. It was only going to be 2 minutes of stoppage time. Are you joking me? It was about 5 minutes to check VAR. Anyway, Raheem Sterling now coming forward for Chelsea into the box. He goes down under a challenge. He's claiming a penalty. I don't think that one actually was at all. People might say it's a dive. I'm not sure if it's a dive either. I just think it's a coming together in the area, and he's gone down, and the ball ended up straight into the arms of David Raya, and now Chelsea got a little bit of defending to do. Thiago Silva, far too much experience there for Gabriel Martinelli, but Chelsea have almost lost the ball. But Robert Sanchez now will go long up to halfway. Oh, mistake there from Gabriel. And he's put himself under a bit of pressure, but he did well there actually in the end, Gabriel. And now the ball's over on this far side with Zinchenko, plays it in field to Martin Odegaard, but that wasn't a great ball. And now Chelsea can come forward. That's a ball out on that far side. Raheem Sterling is going to keep this in as well. He's been dangerous, actually, Sterling, in the twilight of his career, you could say. And a great career it's been. But today he has had a good game. A shot comes in from Enzo Fernandez, but it's straight into the body of David Raya. And Chelsea haven't managed to get the second goal. They're just showing that instant again. It was Martinelli. Oh, you know what? He didn't really get the ball, did he, Martinelli? Looking at the replay of that, he's a bit fortunate because he didn't get the ball, did he? Was there any contact on Sterling? I'm not really sure if there was enough contact for it to be a penalty, but we've certainly seen him given, haven't we? Let's be honest. But yeah, maybe there wasn't enough in that. Although he didn't actually get the ball, did he? He just didn't really get the. He didn't really get the player either, did he? I suppose that's the main thing. We're just coming up now to this final few seconds of this first half. Not a great first half from Arsenal, you have to say. And it looks as though we're going to go in at the break a goal behind. We have now played the 2 minutes of stoppages, whatever the referee is going to add on. And in fact, he's not going to add on anymore. That is it. It is half time. It is Chelsea 1, Arsenal 0. It was that penalty after 15 minutes from Cole Palmer. It was who sent David Raya the wrong way. It was a handball from William Saliba. It was across from Raheem Sterling over on that far side at Chelsea's right. And a header came in from Modric, I think it was. It may have been, it may actually have been Palmer that got the header anyway. It hit William Saliba's arm, which was out. And after a VAR check, the referee gave the penalty, and Cole Palmer scored. Chelsea had one or two other opportunities as well. Palmer put a shot just wide. There was one there. Gusto just fired over the bar as well. Arsenal really. The best chance Arsenal had was a Declan Rice chance when he tried to flick it with the outside of his foot, and it was always curling away from the goal. And that's pretty much all we've had. Robert Sanchez hasn't had a save to make, so really poor first half. Off-road says, well, he says a crap first half. Yeah, well, there you go. It's not been great, has it? Let's be honest. It has not been great at all. And yeah, we need to step it up, don't we, in the second half? We definitely do. But yeah, that wasn't particularly good, was it? Let's be honest, it wasn't particularly good. Anyway, there has obviously been a few Premier League matches today, as we know. So should we just run through the scores from earlier, just in case you missed them? It was the Merseyside derby, Liverpool 2, Everton 0. 2 goals from Mo Salah. It was there. Gave Liverpool the victory. Bournemouth 1, Wolves 2. Bournemouth were 1-0 up, then had a player sent off, Lewis Cook, and it was Kuna and Kalajdzic who scored for Wolves, a late winner there to give Wolves a victory. Brentford 3, Burnley 0. Burnley did have a player sent off. It was Wissa and Buemo and Godas with the goals there for Brentford. Man City did beat Brighton. They were 2-0 up at half time. Alvarez and Haaland Ansu Fati did pull a goal back, and Akanji was sent off late on for Man City, but they held on to win 2-1. Newcastle beat Crystal Palace 4-0. Murphy, Gordon, Longstaff, and Wilson. Nottingham Forest drew 2-2 at home to Luton. Wow, Luton are certainly in a good run of form. They were 2-0 down Luton as well. Wood scored twice for Nottingham Forest, and then in the last 10 minutes, it was Ogbieng and Adebayo that scored for Luton. A stoppage time equaliser for them. A nice away day for Luton, wasn't it? They won their last away game, and they picked up a point at Forest. So they're maybe starting to adapt to the Premier League, aren't they, Luton now? And of course, as we know, it's half-time here at Stamford Bridge. Chelsea 1, Arsenal 0. And tonight, Sheffield United are playing at home to Manchester United. It's going to be a very emotional Manchester United, isn't it? Following the news earlier on today of Bobby Charlton's sad passing. So, yeah, thoughts go out to them. Terry says that Newcastle flying again. They're certainly scoring some goals, aren't they? And their goals are being spread around the team. You know, they won 8-0 recently against Sheffield United, 8 different scorers. They won 4-0 today with 4 different scorers. They beat PSG 4-1 in the Champions League with 4 different scorers. The goals are certainly spread around their team, aren't they? They're playing some good football, Newcastle. I watched a bit of that game earlier, bits and pieces of it, and yeah, they look good at times. Newcastle, they're in a good spell, aren't they? Of course, we play them in a couple of weeks' time, don't we? So that's going to be away as well. That's going to be a really tough game, isn't it? Really, really tough. So we'll see how we get on there. Terry says, at what point do you think Arteta makes the change and we play with 10-man Havertz? Well, I mean, I kind of agree with what I've probably said before, that I think if the change is going to happen, it'll be party on for Jorginho. That will be the first change I think that we'll make, potentially even at half time. When will Havertz come on? Well, we'll have to see. Will he come on? If we're still losing, he may well do. Virginia says, yeah, replay. It touched the ball to Zinchenko. Offroad says, we lose this. The Man City result would have been a bit of a waste of time. They'll be back above us. Well, I mean, it wouldn't be a waste of time in the sense that, you know, getting 3 points on Man City when you play them is important, isn't it? If you pick up points against your rivals, then that's what you have to do, don't you? Yes, you need to back that up with a performance and a result the following game. Absolutely. And if we did lose today, then it would have undone a lot of that work that we put into that Man City game. Absolutely, it would. I wouldn't say it would make it a waste of time. It would just, you know, it would have. It's not what you want, is it? When you just had a great result like that, you need to follow it up with another win, don't you? Daniel says, Rahib not a penalty. No, I don't think it was a penalty. No, I agree. Terry says, just showing Winterburn's goal against Chelsea. Oh, that was a great goal, wasn't it? I was at that game. That was a late winner, wasn't it? I think we may well have been 1-0 down that game. I seem to remember Dennis Bergkamp got a couple of great goals as well, didn't he, in that particular game? And Nigel Winterburn's late absolute cracker, wasn't it? We've scored some great goals at Stamford Bridge over the years. Do you remember there was the Silvino goal, wasn't there? We were 2-0 down and come back to 2-2. There was, of course, that Carnu hat-trick. Everyone remembers that, don't they? When we were 2-0 down in that game as well, came back to win 3-2. Some of the goals that Carnu scored that day were incredible, weren't they? That was a rainy day, very similar to the conditions today. In fact, that was in October as well, wasn't it? Are we going to see a second half comeback like that maybe today? Who knows? But yeah, we'll need to be better. But we've had some great memories and some great moments at Stamford Bridge. In fact, some, of course, in recent years, hasn't there, been with some really important victories in the last few seasons. But if we're going to win this game, we are going to have to really, really turn this around in the second half. We're going to have to play a lot better. We're going to have to show a lot more intensity. We have to move the ball quicker, and we're going to have to try and pull Chelsea around the pitch a bit more defensively, certainly. But yeah, it is what it is. And the first half's gone. We just need to be better in the second half, and let's see if it's going to be enough to get us at least a point here, which before the game, I think a lot of us kind of felt maybe a draw wouldn't be a bad result, really, would it? Because Chelsea are coming to this game in good form. And I say they don't concede goals. That's the point with it. They do not concede goals. So we are going to have to play a lot better, aren't we? They keep showing the replays as penalty. I'm not listening to what they're saying in the studio. I personally can't see how you can dispute that being a penalty. Personally, I don't see what the issue is. What you've got to think of is when you look at the fans behind the goal, the Chelsea fans. Yes, of course they're Chelsea fans and they're going to be appealing for it, but so many of them are appealing for it. It was that clear to the fans behind the goal. It had struck his arm. I don't know. I don't think there's much debate here. I'm not really sure what it's Jamie Redknapp and Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank in the studio here that I'm seeing. But I'm not really sure what they're talking about. But anyway, Jamie Redknapp seems to be quite sure in his decision. I don't know whether he's saying it is a penalty or not. You'd imagine Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank, former Chelsea player, would be agreeing it was a penalty. You would assume, wouldn't you? There seemed to be a little bit of a argument over who was going to take it. Raheem Sterling seemed to want it, and then it was given to Cole Palmer instead. And he dispatched it anyway, so there won't be any problem there, I'm sure. Terry says, the good old days when football was football, none of this I've just had a notification on the screen, sorry. None of this fancy powder puff stuff. No, I agree. I must admit, I don't enjoy the modern style of football as much as the old days. I don't enjoy watching it as much, I've got to be honest. It's too passy, isn't it? There's not enough directness about it. There's not enough. I don't know. I'm not sure. It's not the same game, is it? And some people will say the quality is better. Yes, and it probably is. The players now are fitter. They're more technically. They're technically better, aren't they? I don't think there's much doubt about that. As a collective, obviously, back in the day, you had individual players that were absolutely fantastic. But maybe as a group of players, the level now is much higher, isn't it? But yeah, I don't think it's as enjoyable to watch personally. I really don't think it is. It's more about possession now, isn't it? Possession is king, rather than getting the ball into the box and putting the other team's defence, causing the other defence problems. Not many teams really play like that, do they? And when you see football like that, it's nice to watch, isn't it? I mean, we mentioned Newcastle just before. The amount of goals that they're scoring, and the reason why they're scoring a lot of goals is because they put the ball in a box and they get bodies in there, don't they? And it's kind of nice to see that. Not, it's unusual for the top teams in the Premier League these days. They all tend to play a very similar style, don't they? Man City, Arsenal, Liverpool maybe a little bit more exciting to watch. I think the way that they play still. So Tottenham have had a good start to the season. They're playing some nice football. What I've seen of them. And yeah, I don't know. I don't really enjoy it as much. I've got to be honest. The modern football for me doesn't really, and I actually think, and I've been feeling like this thinking about this for a while. Actually, it's like, I think if I was young now, if I was, I don't know, 9, 10 years old when I first got into football back in the 1970s, if I was that age now, I'm not sure if I would feel the same way about football. I don't think I'd have got into it in the same way that I got into it back then. I just don't think I would have done, because the whole experience of watching the games isn't as exciting. The experience of being in the stadiums isn't as exciting as it was then. And would it still have drawn me in the same way that it did back in the mid 1970s? I'm not sure if it would have done. I don't know. It's impossible to say, isn't it? But I just don't feel as though it does. I don't feel it's got that. You can see how the crowd at football and the people that follow football now has changed over the years, hasn't it? I'm not saying that's a good or a bad thing. It's the way it is. But I'm not sure if it would have been for me as much if I was younger now. I don't know. That's just how I feel, really. Nathan says, Canate should have been sent off Liverpool today. Someone asked him in his post-match press conference if they should have a replay. I love it. I haven't seen. I saw a little bit of the Newcastle game earlier. I haven't really seen anything else from the games earlier on today, so I'll watch it tonight on Match of the Day. I'll let you know tomorrow. Nathan says, hang on, I've no notification. I've just stopped the notification coming up. What does that say? It says, if Everton should begin a replay. Yeah, I mean, it is quite funny, obviously, when they wanted a replay after the Liverpool game. I mean, I haven't seen that, so I don't know. I'll have a look at it tonight, Match of the Day and stuff. We'll see. But VAR is what it is, isn't it? We know that the referee's decisions at the moment, the VAR, it's not great, is it? Let's be honest. They've not exactly covered themselves in glory. I thought today they got that one right in that first half. Fair enough, they got that one right, but there's too many mistakes, isn't there? Terry says, Richard, I agree 100%. Yeah. I mean, I know it's probably a generational thing, isn't it, Terry? I know me and you are very similar age, aren't we? We grew up at the same kind of point in time, and we watched the same football, didn't we, when we were growing up? And that's just what I don't know. Obviously, when you're that young, I mean, I first got into football. I was maybe, I don't know, 6 or 7, maybe 7 or 8, something like that. When I first started really watching football on the telly and stuff, and what it was about football that drew me into it, I don't really know. I can't put my finger on it. It just did. It happened, and that was that. But I say I don't know whether it would now. If I was that age now, I'm not sure. I'm really not sure. But anyway, it doesn't matter. Once it's there, isn't it? And it's not going to. You can't not be interested anymore in it, unfortunately. As much as it's changed, as much as I don't enjoy it in the same way as I used to, and I don't think it's the same. It's just part of your life, isn't it? It's just there, and there's nothing you can do. You can't switch it off, unfortunately. As much as we try, sometimes you just can't do it, can you? You just can't. Nathan says it's consistency. Everton had a man sent off for a similar tackle. There's just no consistency. Absolutely. Oh, I mean, that's the thing, isn't it? I think that's why everybody criticises the referee so much, and that's one of the reasons, isn't it? Because one decision will go one way, and a very similar tackle will not result in the same outcome. And yes, it's down. I suppose it's down to interpretation as well, isn't it? But when it's the same referee in the same game, you'd imagine that referee would see things in a very similar way because it's the way he reacts to it, isn't it? So it doesn't always seem to make a lot of sense, does it? Sometimes, but I don't know. I mean, honestly, we've been talking about referees for as long as football's been invented, really, haven't we? Let's be honest. And we will always be talking about them, won't we? I think VAR came in, and I think we kind of thought to ourselves, you know what? Maybe VAR is the answer, isn't it? It's gonna stop all these doubts. It's going to stop all these mistakes, I suppose you could say. And it just hasn't done that at all, has it? In fact, it's almost done the opposite. There seems to be more mistakes now with the referees with VAR than there was before. Or maybe there isn't. Maybe it just looks worse because we can see the VAR things and what they've not overturned. I mean, in the pre-VAR days, if a referee made a mistake in a game, you'd see the replays on the telly and you think, oh, bloody hell, the referee's got that one wrong. And, if it went against your team, you'd be moaning on for a couple of hours. But you just thought, well, he's made a mistake. Whereas now, because VAR are doing it, they shouldn't be making these mistakes, should they? Because VAR are there to say, actually, you've got this wrong, put it right. But that's not happening enough, is it? As we've seen. Nathan says it just makes you think because it's Anfield. Well, I mean, it could be, couldn't it? We just don't know, do we? We just don't know. You have to try to believe and think that the referees aren't going to be corrupt or biased or anything like that. You've got to hope that the game is fair. You've got to hope that it is. Sometimes the evidence that you see sometimes makes you think, is it fair? But I think we've all got to believe that it is. Otherwise, what's the point? If that's what we think's happening, what's the point of watching football? What's the point of paying money to go to games if you feel the referees are corrupt or whatever it is? And we've got to try and believe in the integrity of the game. But sometimes you look at some of the things and you think, wow, it's funny, isn't it? Because they obviously betting has been quite a big story this week, hasn't it? With the Sandro Tonali situation at Newcastle, and of course Ivan Toney being. Oh, Tommy, that's who's come on for Arsenal, actually. That's interesting, isn't it? Who's gone off then? We'll find out in a minute. And, that brings the integrity into the game. Zinchenko's gone off. Oh, good. That might improve us defensively. The integrity of the game is so important, isn't it? And that's why the players get a big ban for betting, because of it brings the integrity into question. And the referees don't get the same treatment, do they, when they bring the integrity of the game into question? Anyway, we'll see. We're just about to get the second half on. In fact, the second half is underway. Arsenal taking a goal to our left. Neil's in. My friend, good to see you. He says, been overwhelmed all over the park. Zinni and Ergo have been poor. Need Partey for stability. Well, yeah, potentially. We thought Partey might come on, didn't we? And Neil says, hi, I hope all is well. Yeah, we're all good, mate. Hope you're doing well. Neil says, I hope for about half. Let's keep the faith. Well, I hope for about half. Of course, we can't be any worse, can it? Ovo says, Tommy is on for Zinchenko. Yeah, Zinni off. Neil says, I think that's a good movie. I do as well. Zinchenko was terrible in that first half, and defensively he's crap. Nathan says, the way Tony was treated is a disgrace compared to Tonali. Yeah, I mean, I think it's a slightly different situation. Let's see what happens in the outcome. See what happens to Tonali. What his punishment is. if he gets punishment at all. But anyway, if he's got an addiction, I do think he needs help, and I think that's the right thing. Gambling is horrible, and they shouldn't have the bet. They shouldn't have the sponsorship for betting in football, in any sport. I don't think, because it encourages the wrong things, doesn't it? But anyway, that's a different story, maybe for another day. Terry says, who would have thought you can't scream and shout anymore, but it's okay to dye your hair pink, orange and green and chop your winkle off, and that's fine and progress. Exactly, mate. This is the world that we live in now, isn't it? This is unfortunately the world that we live in. Anyway, Neil says, okay, or might catch up in a bit. Come on. Yeah, enjoy the game, mate. Enjoy the game. I'm sure you will be. Hopefully the second half will be worth enjoying, because that first half wasn't, was it really? Anyway, so Tomiyasu's come on for Zinchenko. That is the substitution that we made at half time. Wasn't maybe the one that we were expecting to make, but I'm not saying it's a bad move. So Tomiyasu seems to have played in that role there of Zinchenko. He's actually more of a central midfield player at the moment, Tomiyasu. Anyway, we've got the ball over on that far side. Jorginho dinks it up the line to Ben White with his white hair. That's been the big story for Arsenal in this first half. We're just giving the ball away again, though. And it's Modric over on that far side. Chelsea coming forward, looking dangerous again. Enzo Fernandez puts the ball in, and David... Oh, it's gone in! I don't know if that was a cross. It's Enzo Fernandez. Oh, no, it's not. It's Conor Gallagher, is it? No, it's not. It's actually... Who scored that goal? I mean, it was a terrible goal for David Raya to concede. It looked like a cross. Is it Modric that scored? Wow, that is incredible, isn't it? Has he scored for Chelsea before or not? Off-road says, no, indeed. I mean, it was a bad goal to concede. We gave the ball away. It was sort of White and Ødegaard, and Chelsea came forward over on that far side. It was an overlapping run. And is that a cross? Do we think that's a cross? I think that's a cross. But it's gone in over David Raya. It is Modric with the goal. Chip that cross in there. Oh, my word. That is not great goalkeeping, is it, at all? That is a terrible start to the second half for Arsenal. Chelsea have doubled their lead. And we have now got a massive... He's miskicked that cross, hasn't he? That's a miskick cross, isn't it? Let's be honest. It's a miskick cross. But it's gone in. And all that criticism he got from Arsenal fans has come back to bite us, hasn't it? He's just scored Modric, and Chelsea now coming forward again. We are getting absolutely torn apart here at Stamford Bridge. But Tomiyasu there tidies up, plays it back to David Raya. Well, that's a bit of a loose touch. Oh, nearly a loose pass as well. And Jorginho's then fouled. It is a free kick to Chelsea. Nathan says, I just mean Tony was called a disgrace, but with Tonali, it's a case of he has issues. And he said, no, absolutely. You're right. That's what I'm saying. Ivan Toney was maybe an easy target, if you see what I mean, in a way. Whereas maybe I don't know if they've learned from that. The circumstances are different, let's be honest. Don't forget Tonali's offences, if you like, happened in Italy, didn't they? Whereas Ivan Toney's was in this country. But again, that took a long time for him to be punished, didn't it? And I'm sure it'll be the same for Tonali. And I'm sure if he's found that he has obviously done the illegal betting, oh, hang on, Arsenal got a chance to pull a goal back. Saka over on that far side. We've got the ball alive. The cross comes in. So header cleared away actually again by Chelsea, have defended so well in this game. But Arsenal still in possession now. We need a response to going 2-0 down so early in this second half. Martinelli on this near side. He can't get away from the defender there. Gusto. He's giving it some gusto, isn't he, there on Martinelli? And we do keep the ball, though, back with William Saliba. Arsenal need a response. Rajendra says, Modric. Yeah, it was Modric with the goal. Yeah, very, very fortunate goal. I thought it was a miss-hit cross, personally. But anyway, it's gone in. And I don't think that David Raya covered himself in too much glory there, did he? Would have been caught out. It was a cross. He's expecting a cross, and then it ends up going in. So it's a tough one, isn't it? But anyway, Declan Rice lays the ball off to Gabriel Martinelli on his near side, puts a cross in. It's not a bad cross, actually. Again, it's a Chelsea head. It was Thiago Silva. He's not the biggest, is he? But he's a very, very good defender, isn't he? Rajendra says Raya was too far. He was, yeah, just away from his goal. He was anticipating a cross, wasn't he? That's the thing. He was anticipating a cross. And because it's been mishit, it's gone over his head and it's ended up in the goal. A very strange goal. But it's a difficult situation now for us, isn't it? Saka now on that far side, done well. Bukayo Saka skips past Cucurella, puts a cross in. The goalkeeper doesn't really deal with it too well. He pushed it away, Robert Sanchez, but it's only come to Martinelli on this near side, just inside the penalty area. Plays it back to Gabriel. Arsenal maybe sensing a moment here. This is the most pressure. We've had a shot from distance. Is it from Saliba? No, it isn't. He tried to thread the ball through. And Chelsea now again can come forward on a counter-attack. They've been so dangerous, haven't they? Raheem Sterling is being held by Tomiyasu. But the referee allows that to go on. I mean, that looked like a blatant foul by Tomiyasu there. He had his arms all over Raheem Sterling. Anyway. Incredible. But anyway, Martin Odegaard now in possession for Arsenal over on that far side. He really hasn't had a poor game, hasn't he? And that pass wasn't great either, was it? Jorginho hasn't had a great game. In fact, you go through the Arsenal team. Who's played well for Arsenal today? Pretty much nobody. They've all been really poor, haven't they? Off the pace, just not on their game at all today. It's been terrible. They had this dink ball forward. Again, now it's easily cut out by Chelsea and they can try and come forward on the counter-attack again. But Arsenal have won the ball back. Is this going to be up to Declan Rice? There's a bit of space here for Martinelli just inside the penalty. Cuts back inside. Is he going to get a shot away, Martinelli? He does. It's deflected wide. It's going to be a corner. It came off Gusto there. Malo Gusto. Sounds like he should be a French cuisine chef, doesn't he? With a name like Malo Gusto. Anyway, he should have some restaurants in Paris, shouldn't he? But he did some good defending there, actually. It's gone out for a corner to Arsenal over on that far side. But this is a little bit better from Arsenal. Good response to going 2-0 down, actually. But we need a goal back. It's a corner over on that far side. Bukayo Saka with it in towards the 6-yard box. A goalkeeper, Sanchez, under pressure, managed to scoop it out. It's going to be another corner. He's claiming he was fouled, the Spaniard, but he wasn't. Goalkeepers think they're fouled all the time. In fact, it was his own defender that was holding him there. So if he was fouled, he was fouled by his own defender, but he actually did pretty well in the end because Tomiyasu was coming in around the back and may well have got a touch on that. But anyway, it is a corner instead to Arsenal over on that near side this time. Referee is going in to just have a word there with Gabriel Jesus and Mark Cucurella. It's going to be a corner now to Arsenal. Another corner, 53.5 minutes played. It is Chelsea 2, Arsenal 0. And then can we get a goal back now? The corner to the far post. Header comes in, but it's wide. It was Gabriel Rose highest there. Couldn't quite direct that into the goal. It's gone behind. It is a corner. They're just showing a second goal again. Did he mean this? I mean, look at the position of the goalkeeper. He's miles out of his goal, anticipating a cross. I mean, if he meant that, that's a great goal. If he meant it, it is a great goal. But I'm sure that's a mishit cross. I'm sure he'll say he meant it. And it's gone in, and Arsenal have got a mountain to climb in this game. And David Raya's face there. Nathan says, such a fluky goal. Well, it was. I think it was a mishit cross, personally. If he meant it, it was a fantastic finish, wasn't it? Let's be honest. He saw the keeper off his line and chipped it over him, but I think it was a mishit, personally. But yeah, David Raya didn't really cover himself in glory, but I'll kind of make the excuse for him that it looked like, obviously, from that position, he's going to try a cross. The goalkeeper was in a position for a cross on the edge of the 6-yard box, wasn't he? And obviously, because it's been mishit, it's looped over his head. It's made the goalkeeper look stupid. That happens, doesn't it? But anyway, it doesn't look good for the goalkeeper, does it? There's a lot of talk about the Arsenal goalkeeping situation at the moment, obviously with Ramsdale. He's quite a popular figure, isn't he, with the fans and whatnot, even though I don't really think he's that good. He's an average goalkeeper for me. But David Raya, I was excited about him coming in, and to be honest, he's not done particularly well, has he? Overall, I don't think he has. Anyway, Gusto just giving the ball away to Declan Rice. Arsenal now looking to try to get a goal back. 10 minutes played in the second half. Martinelli on this near side. Can he get across? And he can't. It was good defending there from Casado. But it is a corner, to Arsenal, which Martinelli's going to take on this near side. Arsenal's left. He's going to swing that in with his right foot. Can Arsenal pull a goal back? And who knows, if we can, could all change, couldn't it? It could all change if we can get a goal back. There's still plenty of time left in this game. Anyway, this corner is going to come in from Martinelli towards the edge of the 6-yard box. Again, it's a Chelsea. It gets it away. Volley comes in from Jorginho. It comes back to him. Now it's Tomiyasu. Shot's deflected. Or is it deflected? It's gone over the top. Tomiyasu thinks it was deflected. He's appealing for a corner. He's not going to get the corner, I don't think. Again, it was good defending initially from Chelsea. The header away from Cucurella it was. Jorginho's shot was on target. It hit Enzo Fernandez, and then Tomiyasu's shot, I don't think it was deflected. It was just miscued, and it's gone behind for a goal kick to Chelsea. But it's been a good response to going 2-0 down, but it's a mountain to climb, isn't it, against a team that don't concede many goals, do they, Chelsea? They're very, very tight at the back. And you can see why. They're very well organised. And they're working extremely hard in this game. And Arsenal have been off our best. There's no doubt about that. And we are heading towards what would be our first Premier League defeat of the season. Our first Premier League defeat actually since... Oh, what's he done? Ray has given the ball away inside the penalty area. He made up for it with the save there. That was Cole Palmer he gave the ball to there. Terrible play there from David Raya. He's having a nightmare here today now. A terrible pass out. Cole Palmer was in there, almost got in, a good save. Wow, Nathan says, what is he doing? I do not know what he's doing. I don't know what any of them are doing, actually. They've been all over the place, Arsenal, today. Absolutely all over the place. It is a corner, though, to Chelsea. Raya managed to get himself out of jail there because at 3-0, we're done. We are done if it's 3-0. It still could be. They've got a corner, which Mudryk is going to take. And he's going to try and swing this ball in towards that near post area. It comes in. In fact, it's gone away to the far post. Put back into the box again. It's flicked on. There's a free header at the far post. That should have been 3-0. That was a bad miss there. In fact, it was offside anyway. I think it was Colwell, actually. It was Levi Colwell there with a free header at the far post. The linesman's flag was up, but to be honest with you, he should score anyway. Terrible defending. He was offside. The ball was flicked on. He's got to put that in, hasn't he? Let's be honest. That's an absolute sitter. He's put it over the bar. It wouldn't have counted anyway. But that's not really the point, is it? It's really poor defensive play from Arsenal there again. Today we've just been all over the gaff. I don't know what's going on. This has been our worst performance of the season by quite some distance, and we are heading, as I say, towards our first Premier League defeat since May when we lost at Nottingham Forest. And you have to say, so far after 58 minutes, we don't deserve anything else from this game. But are we going to get a big finish? It's a free kick to Arsenal over on that far side. Cucurella there just pulled back Bukayo Saka. And it's been a big battle between those two today, hasn't it? And Saka's not very happy with maybe some of the treatment he's been getting. Of course, his long run of Premier League consecutive games came to an end, didn't it? Last game against Manchester City. A great win that was. But yeah, as Offroad pointed out earlier to us, it's almost a waste of time, isn't it? If we lose this game, it's not what you need to do when you win a big game. You have to follow it up, don't you, with a result in your next game. And unless we've come back from 2-0 down at Chelsea before, and we were talking about it at half time. There's been a few occasions, not for a while. It's been a long time, but we have done it before. So let's see if we can do it now. Martin Odegaard over this free kick over on that far side. Can we get a goal back now? There's still over half an hour to play. It would be plenty of time, wouldn't it? We've done it before at home. We've done it. Can we do it away from home? Anyway, this free kick comes in from Martin Odegaard towards a penalty spot. Robert Sanchez doesn't really get there. The header comes in and over the top. I'm not quite sure. Got the final touch on that. I don't know if it was Gabriel Jesus or was it Tomiyasu in there as well. Gabriel Jesus has gone down as a Chelsea defender down as well. In that, there's a decent ball into a dangerous area there, and the header came in from. In fact, the goalkeeper came as Tomiyasu's header actually over the top of the bar. Yet to score for Arsenal, the Japanese defender. He got his head on there in front of the goalkeeper. There was a bit of a melee there, and players are falling all over like bowling balls there. Anyway. It is going to be a goal kick anyway to Arsenal. So there you go. So it's going to be a goal kick to Chelsea. Sorry, and Jesus is getting some treatment now. The goal kick more like fell on him actually, rather than anything else. It wasn't anything other than that really. But there you go. So just showing David Raya's David Raya's rather bizarre kick out there. He's having a bit of a shaky game, isn't he, the Arsenal goalkeeper? He made a couple of mistakes in the away game again in Europe, didn't he? Against Lons, didn't he? And he's not exactly covering himself in glory today either, is he? But anyway, these things happen, don't they? Just as on here, I just had a notification come through that apparently the stream on Facebook has been removed for sharing content not owned by like copyright. I don't quite know how that's happened. Ridiculous. Anyway, I don't know what's happened there. But anyway, I don't know if it's still on. Is it still on YouTube? It must be, mustn't it? Because there's comments coming in. Terry says, "Do you think Arteta will bring on ESR for the last 90 seconds of the game?" No, I don't think he'll bring him on at all because we're losing. He won't trust him, will he? Anyway, I don't know what they've shut the stream down on Facebook for some reason about copyright. What copyright infringements have I made on this stream? I haven't shown any of the game. You can't hear any of the game. Honestly, I don't know what they're doing. It's ridiculous. I'm going to put an appeal in anyway because it's just stupid. Isn't it? What have they took it down for? I've had this problem before on some of the other videos. They've taken them down for some reason. Don't know why. Absolute clowns, man. It's only on Facebook though, isn't it? You guys are still watching it on YouTube, aren't you? Anyway, let's have a look. Sorry, I'm just going to appeal against this now. I don't know what they're on about. I don't know what they're on about. Terry says your hair's not pink. Maybe I'll have to get a pink wig, maybe. That's what I need to do. They'll keep me stream on there. They're saying it's copyright breach. I don't know what the copyright breach is. Anyway, let's see. I don't know if anyone else has had this problem before. But anyway, I've just sent an appeal in. So hopefully it might come back on, who knows. But I don't know what the issue is. Anyway, it's just Facebook viewing it. Infringes someone else's copyright. I'd like to know who else's copyright's been infringed on this video. I don't know. Is it still out on YouTube? It must be because I haven't had a notification from YouTube. Let me just have a check. Oh, it is, yeah, still on YouTube. So I don't know what's going on anyway. Anyway, the Chelsea are making a substitution now. Modric, who scored that rather lucky goal, is going off to big applause from the Chelsea fans because they don't know any better, do they? Let's be honest. And that was lucky, wasn't it? Let's be fair. It was a miskicked cross, wasn't it? Anyway, Modric is now going off. So that is unfortunately the end of his game, isn't it? That's a shame. But so he got himself a big goal, and it's going to be Nicholas Jackson who is coming on. No relation to Michael Jackson, I don't think. Anyway, Nicholas Jackson comes from Senegal, so probably not a relation of Michael Jackson, is he? And he's a striker, he's got a couple of goals. But Arsenal got a corner over on the far side. 65 minutes played. It's still 2-0, but Arsenal got a chance to maybe get a goal back now. Saka with this corner from that far side. Swings it in to the far post. Gabriel's up with a header. He did score it here last season, but he hasn't scored this time. Chelsea don't really get that ball away. Gabriel Martinelli now on this near side, twisting and turning, trying to find space for a cross. Declan Rice finds Gabriel. Gabriel just touches it off to the other Gabriel Martinelli, but again, Chelsea deal with that pretty well. The ball's gone forward. There's a counter-attack on here with Raheem Sterling. Nicholas Jackson's run through. Nicholas Jackson's on the end of this. Is he going to score with his first touch? No, he's not, because David Raya's out. Grabs the ball off his toes. That was better goalkeeping there from David Raya. That's what it is. That is what it is. He's almost redeemed himself for that mistake. Terry says, oh, hang on, another notification. It's probably your beard is the same colour as Ben. So, yeah, that might be what it is. Maybe that's the copyright, yeah. Here, Arsenal now coming forward. Saka across. Oh, that is great defending, actually. Jesus would have had a tap in. Is that Thiago Silva again? That guy's unreal, isn't he? He's about 52, and he's still playing in the Premier League and still doing stuff like that. What a legend he is, actually, to be fair. Anyway, Arsenal still in possession. Can we find a goal back? Gabriel up his near side to Gabriel Martinelli. Tomiyasu went around the outside of it, didn't give him the ball, and now Arsenal having to defend as Chelsea come forward again with Cole Palmer. Got that penalty, and he's just won a throw there, and he gets a hug off his manager Pochettino on the near side, and it has gone out for a throw though to Arsenal. Now we're going to make some. Oh, Emil Smith-Rowe's coming on, guys. Emil Smith-Rowe, 67 minutes. And the saviour of all things Arsenal, Eddie Nketiah as well, is coming on. Jesus is going off. Didn't have a great game today, Jesus. And Eddie's coming on. And Emil Smith-Rowe's coming on as well. We're not quite sure who's going off for him yet. Who went off? It's Jorginho's gone off. Yeah, not a great game for Jorginho. So it's a little bit of attacking changes there, isn't it? Taking a more defensive midfield player off in Jorginho, bringing on a more attacking midfield player in the shape of Emil Smith-Rowe as Arsenal try and get back from 2-0 down, which is going to be a tough task, and especially now as Chelsea are coming forward again with Gusto, plays the ball in field to Cole Palmer. He's taking on the entire Arsenal defence, it seems, going around the outside as he won a corner. No, he hasn't. Good defending there from Tomiyasu. It's a goal kick to Arsenal, and we have played 68 minutes. So another 2 changes there for Arsenal. Are these going to be the changes that make the difference to this game for Arsenal or not? We're going to have to see, aren't we, what happens in the rest of this game. But Emil Smith-Rowe and Eddie Nketiah are both on. And there we go. Off-road says there, same old story, bullshit managing by Arteta, just marketing to gullible fans. Well, I do agree with you. Generally, I've got to be honest with you, and I've said this for a long, long time, pretty much for 4 years almost, really. But the fact of the matter is, we were second last season, even though we should have been first, and we have been, and we still are technically unbeaten this season because this game's not finished yet. But yeah, I agree. When it comes down to the crunch, he's not good enough as a manager. He's not good enough as a motivator. He's not flexible enough. Oh, it's going to be a chance there for a third goal from Chelsea. Oh, good defending actually from Gabriel. It looked like Raheem Sterling was going to be in to make it 3-0. And that would pretty much be that, wouldn't it? Let's be honest, with 20 minutes to play. We've kept ourselves in the game. Good tackle from Gabriel. But again, not great defending from Arsenal, really, all round. It was really poor, wasn't it? And Chelsea coming forward again. They're having a spell now. They haven't had too much in the second half, Chelsea, because they've got the second goal and they've been quite happy to let us have the ball because we've not really threatened too much, have we? I still don't remember Robert Sanchez making a save, actually. Oh, it's a mistake there from Smith-Rowe's giving the ball away. It's going to be a shot from Cole Palmer, but he's pretty wide. And it's a mistake there. Emil Smith-Rowe gave the ball away there to Chelsea. But now Arsenal looking to come forward over on that far side. Ben White, Eddie Nketiah there, almost with his first touch. But was he fouled? Cucurella doesn't think he was. Cucurella thinks he got the ball, and he's now appealing to the linesman over on that far side. He's not going to do himself any favours by doing that, is he? Other than getting himself a yellow card. In fact, he's getting a yellow card. Maybe he was going to get a yellow card anyway. But he's definitely getting one now for his protesting against that decision. I'd like to see a replay of this because I actually thought he got the ball as well. I thought he just nipped ahead of Eddie Nketiah. Let's have a look. The ball was played up. It was Saka, actually. No, it was a foul. It was a foul, mate. You can't really have any complaints here. It was definitely a foul. And possibly a yellow card straight up anyway, regardless of your reaction. But Cucurella has got himself a yellow card. And it's going to be a free kick to Arsenal on that far side. Ben White dinks it forward up that far side. Again, it's a good head out from Cucurella again, I think he's had a good game again. He always seems to play well against us. And Chelsea now coming forward is Casado. Plays the ball up this near side to Cole Palmer. Had a really good game for Chelsea. The ex-Manchester City youngster seems to be thriving, doesn't he? In this Chelsea team, he had a couple of good games, didn't he, before the international break, I remember. Sterling just lays that ball off, and we're just into the last 20 minutes now. It's going to be a big 20 minutes, isn't it, for Arsenal? We really do need to find something here if we are going to find our way back into this game. So I'm just reading this notification here from Facebook. It says, we removed the following content you posted on Facebook because we received a notification from a third party that it infringes their copyright. I'd like to know who this third party is and what copyright they've got over anything that I've put on this video. It says it was uploaded on the 18th of October. I don't even know if the stream, I suppose. Put it on. If you believe this content should not have been removed, you can contact the complaining party directly. Doesn't say who they are. Doesn't say who they are. We strongly encourage you to review the content and make sure you have not posted any other infringing content. No, I haven't. I haven't posted any infringing content. I don't quite know what you're doing there, my friends. But anyway, it's irrelevant really because it's still it's only on Facebook. It's only on that's only the Facebook one anyway. I don't really care about it. I don't know. I won't put it on there actually. Anyway, Arsenal now back in possession with David Raya. Surely someone can't just say that they own rights to anything without actually having to prove that they do, can they? I mean, what have I put on this stream? I don't know if anybody's noticed anything I've put on this stream that's from copyrighted from somebody else. I mean, the music that I've got on here is music that's free music from YouTube, so that's not copyright. It's copyright free. Obviously, I haven't shown any of the game. I've not, any. I mean, no, I can't think of anything unless anyone can think of anything that could potentially have been copyright. Nathan says there, speak to the person who raised it, but we won't tell you who did. Exactly, that's exactly what they've said. I don't know who it is that's put it in. They've just put email and contact details, left them blank. Ridiculous. Anyway, I'm not really that bothered. It's only Facebook. No one really watches it on Facebook anyway, do they? Plus, it doesn't matter if someone watches it on Facebook. It doesn't. I don't get anything from it, do I? If people watch it on YouTube, I do. So I'm not really bothered, to be honest. I can't be asked with it. Anyway, also coming forward now, Martinelli going around the outside. Stays on his feet. He's inside the penalty area, actually. He's held up there by two Chelsea defenders, but does find Gabriel, plays the ball square to Declan Rice, manages to get it out of his feet, gets it back to Gabriel again. That's a strong challenge on him there, actually, from Conor Gallagher. And then it's a foul by Gabriel. We're coming down towards the last 15 minutes. Terry says, I bet the third party is Arteta. Well, Arteta won't know. He's at the game, isn't he? He's watching the game. Well, he should be. He shouldn't be watching me on YouTube, should he? Not now. I mean, some of the other shows, yeah, I'm sure he does watch them, but not when the game's on, surely. He's not going to have it. Maybe that's what he has his iPad there for. Maybe that's what they're doing. Maybe they're not watching replays of the game. They've just got a show on. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe you're right, actually. He's watching it at the side of the pitch, isn't he? All right, Arteta, how you doing? Start getting your finger out, mate. Anyway, Arsenal now are in possession again. David Raya comes out and grabs the ball. And he just throws it short to Declan Rice. Declan Rice plays up this near side to Gabriel Martinelli. Plays it up to Eddie Nketiah. Is Eddie Nketiah going to be the saviour for Arsenal in these closing stages here? He's done well there, but then Thiago Silva isn't going to be mugged off, is he, by Eddie Nketiah? Thiago Silva's been there and done it all. He just took the ball off Eddie Nketiah like taking candy from a baby, and Chelsea have now got possession again. Anyway, I don't know what's going on. I'm going to leave that for now because I can't be asked with it. Anyway, we're into the last 15 minutes now, and it is Chelsea 2, Arsenal 0, which isn't really ideal, is it? Let's be honest. Not what we was hoping for or expecting from this game, but who knows? There's still time. But Chelsea coming forward again. So let's see what happens. Terry says, I can't be watching the game. Otherwise, why would he make the decisions he had? Well, exactly, yeah. Maybe you're right. Maybe he's not watching it. He's probably got Coronation Street on. You know, Cucurella puts a cross in. Arsenal do deal with that, but Chelsea pick up possession again. Let's be honest, this has been a really poor Arsenal performance, hasn't it? There's no real, there's nothing that we can say to change that. It's just been poor pretty much from start to 76 minutes. Whether or not see. Anyway, I'm not going to bother with that appeal because I can't be asked with it. Actually, it's just pointless. Absolutely pointless. Anyway, mistake at the back from Chelsea. Arsenal have scored. Declan Rice puts it in from distance. It was a mistake by the goalkeeper for Chelsea, Robert Sanchez. The goalkeepers haven't exactly covered themselves in glory today. And suddenly, out of nothing, Arsenal have a goal back. It was a ball played back there to goalkeeper Sanchez. He kicked it out, and it was a very poor clearance. Declan Rice hit it first time, had the goal open, and he's put it in there. His second Arsenal goal. Is it going to be too late or not? Offroad says about time. Well, it's about time, but we were gifted it, really, wasn't we? Really were gifted it. It's a good finish from distance there. Curled it away from the goalkeeper into the far corner. And both goalkeepers have been at fault today. Arsenal making some more substitutions. Trossard's coming on, and that's Declan Rice's second goal for Arsenal. Not quite as important as his first one against Manchester United, was it? But anyway, Trossard's come on, and Kai Havertz has come on. There we go. Not sure who's gone off yet. We'll have to check that for you. It is Ødegaard and Martinelli. Ødegaard's really poor today, actually. And it is Havertz and Trossard that's come on. Are we gonna salvage something from this game? Because we just was gifted a goal, gifted a way back, and there is still 12 minutes to play. So there's still plenty of time actually in this game. There'll be a bit of stoppage time as well. Are we going to be in for a dramatic finale? We've had some dramatic finales this season, haven't we? With the Arsenal women, are the men going to give us a dramatic finale as well? We'll have to wait and see, but it's certainly possible now, isn't it? As Chelsea are in possession, and we were gifted that goal. Now we need to try and maybe make one of our own. That's what we need to do. But let's see if we can. Chelsea are in possession at the moment in front of their own penalty area with Thiago Silva, plays it back to goalkeeper Sanchez. What's the clearance like this time? You always wonder, don't you, when a goalkeeper's just clicked the ball out, a bad clearance, what's the next one going to be like? But that was better from him. It's gone deep into the Arsenal half, and now Chelsea have got possession over on that far side. There was a foul, the referee played on, and now it's Raheem Sterling having a run into the Arsenal penalty area. Sterling trying to pull it across, it hits Ben White. It is going to be a corner to Chelsea, and it's no good to us with it with the ball down that end of the pitch. And Raheem Sterling now is going to go and take this corner. I think he might be. But Arsenal have made the substitutions now. We've thrown everything into it, haven't we? Terry says, we pull a goal back and Arteta brings Havertz on. You don't want to win this game. Well, sometimes when you play against your old team, you rise to the occasion, don't you? Maybe Kai Havertz might have that in him in his last few minutes. But anyway, it's going to be Enzo Fernandez to take this corner in actual fact for Chelsea, the Argentinian. Is he going to be able to create a third goal for Chelsea, which would win it? Let's be honest, the third goal would. The corner comes in. It wasn't a great corner, actually. It's gone all the way through. It was come all the way out to this near side to Cole Palmer. Plays it back. The cross comes in from the defender, Gusto, but David Ray is out to grab that and manages to hold on to the ball, finds Declan Rice, Arsenal's goal scorer. Is it going to be the start of a dramatic comeback here at Stamford Bridge? We've come back from 2-0 down at the Bridge before, haven't we? The Kanu hat-trick one. There was that one, I say, when Silvinho scored that great equaliser. That is what we've done at Stamford Bridge in the past. Can we repeat that now in 2023? We've got 10 minutes left. to find an equaliser. And if we get it early enough, who knows? Maybe we can get the winning goal as well. But we need to get the second one first. That's sort of how it works. You can't get your third goal until you get your second one. So let's get the second one, then we can hopefully go from there. Anyway, a long throw there up that far side by Ben White, and Arsenal now looking to try to create something with Emil Smith-Rowe, but the ball's gone behind and out for a throw to Chelsea. Reece James is getting prepared to come on for Chelsea now as well. They're making they're getting a little bit scared now, aren't they? They're bringing on some defensive reinforcements as we bring on some more attackers to try to get something from this game, something that we clearly deserve to get for this second half. Brilliant second half comeback, don't we? Anyway, throw up the line, and again Ben White heads it behind. It's going to be another throw to Chelsea. We've played 81.5 minutes. Time is ticking on. Time is running out. We need something soon if we are going to salvage something from this game. It's going to be a throw to Chelsea, which Cucurella is going to take over on that far side. Gets the ball back again. Cucurella plays up the line. Ben White's in, and now Arsenal can try and launch a counter-attack. But there's a tackle there. Declan Rice loses the ball. Chelsea coming forward there, but Arsenal managed to win the ball, but not for long. Chelsea have won it back. They're suddenly up in the tempo again, Chelsea. In fact, since the goal, they've kind of pushed us back quite a bit, Chelsea, haven't they? And we've not really looked like we're going to get that equal. As a ball over that far side, right, so they're going to try and keep this in. He can't keep it in. It's gone behind it. It's going to be a goal kick to Arsenal. And Chelsea are bringing on two substitutes, actually. It's Madiki, Nani Madiki, and Reece James are coming on for Chelsea. And this is going to be slightly different change of shape, is it, for Chelsea, maybe? It's Raheem Sterling going off. He's had a decent game today, hasn't he, Sterling? You have to say he's caused us a lot of problems. His direct running. And it was his cross that led to that penalty for the first goal. And when he played for Man City, I really didn't like Raheem Sterling. But actually, I quite like him now. I think he's had a great career, hasn't he? Let's be honest. He's won pretty much every trophy he can win. And a player at the other end of his career, at the start of his career, Cole Palmer is also going off for Reece James. Yeah, Chelsea getting a little bit more defensive now, aren't they, in the last sort of 7-8 minutes of this game. Cole Palmer had a good game today as well, didn't he? And Reece James is back following his injury layoff. Terry says Chelsea have played well against 10 men. Well, we've only had 10 men for the last 5 minutes, haven't we, since Havertz come on. And he hasn't actually touched the ball yet, so you're sort of right, really, aren't you? Anyway, Arsenal now coming forward again. Over on that far side, it's with Bukayo Saka. Gets a cross in. It's going to come all the way to the far post. Oh, it's in! It's 2-2. Is it Trossard with the goal? Incredible. Arsenal have got the comeback. Wow, that is unbelievable stuff here at Stamford Bridge. I said we've come back from 2-0 down here before. We've done it again. Wow, wow, wow. It was Trossard. It was Saka's cross over on that far side. And round the back came the substitute, Leandro Trossard, from nowhere. Found a way, forced the ball in. And there's still 6 minutes for Arsenal to win. Nathan says Trossard, Offroad says we don't deserve it, but well, we haven't really deserved it. I agree. We were gifted the first goal, but this is a quality goal. This Saka over on that far side whips that ball in. A great run over the far side. That's a good little finish as well. Actually, he had to hit it first time, and what a great finish that is across the goalkeeper into the far post, right in front of those Arsenal fans as well. That is unbelievable. He just stretched there, just forced it home. What a great goal that is. The first one was gifted. The second one is a great goal. Terry says, all the players Arteta craps on and keep saving his job. That seems to be true, doesn't it? Nathan says a good finish. It was a good finish. Yeah, that was a good goal. And Arsenal coming forward now trying to win it. Eddie Nketiah. Eddie Nketiah with a shot. Oh, across the goal. How did he manage to even get there? He outpaced Thiago Silva, who looks knackered now, to be honest. Vijendra says there, Sterling kept Martinelli under the cosh. Yeah, he did. Sterling had a great game today. He really did. And suddenly he goes off and straight away Arsenal score. We almost come in again there. Eddie Nketiah just got a foot to the ball there, put it across the keeper, but he was never going to find a fight. In fact, actually, how close it looked. Wow. That was almost have been the comeback of all time, wouldn't it? If well, it still will be if we can win this game. We looked dead and buried at 2-0. Chelsea had 2 or 3 chances to make it 3-0. We were hanging on, and we were gifted that goal back from Declan Rice, and now we've got the equaliser as well, Leandro Trossard. Wow, incredible stuff. They're just showing that goal again. Brilliant cross from Saka, cut inside onto that left foot, and the ball to the far post. Look at Trossard's movement now. Gusto was asleep, and Trossard manages to just get on the end of it and force it in at that far post, right in front of those Arsenal fans. And what a great moment that is. Anyway, that's a long goal kick there, which Declan Rice heads forward. If anyone's going to win this game now, you have to say it's going to be Arsenal, isn't it? Rendra says there, now to get the winner, indeed. Now to get the winner. We've got out of jail in this game. I don't think there's much doubt about that. But now we've got back to 2-2. Let's go and win it. Exactly. Let's go and win it. But Chelsea now coming forward themselves. Gabriel steps in. And it's a throw to Chelsea on this near side. We've got 3 minutes of normal time remaining. There'll be a bit of stoppage time, doesn't it? Emerson says, I don't hear another word about Trossard. Well, it was a great goal, actually, wasn't it? It was a great goal. I like Trossard, actually. I do like him, to be fair. But anyway, we'll take it, won't we? A bad word. No, we'll never say any bad words about Trossard. He's the boy, isn't he? That was a great goal, and he's going to get the winner, isn't he, as well? And maybe Eddie will get the winner, actually, because he's bound to, isn't he? Anyway, Arsenal coming forward again. Smith Rowe does well. Is this going to be the moment for Arsenal? The ball over on the far side. Cross comes in. Good defending, actually, there from Chelsea. I think it was Reece James, actually, getting himself back in there. And now Chelsea looking to come forward themselves. It's been quite an exciting final 10 minutes, actually, hasn't it? It wasn't looking as though it was going to be. And Chelsea just giving the ball away. And Arsenal say looking the more likely now. Smith Rowe. Oh, was that a foul on him there? The referee has let play go on because we kept possession. It was a foul, but he's kept possession going. Rajandra says Eddie just missed. Well, exactly, he missed. That's what he does. That's what he does best. He misses, doesn't he? Anyway, Arsenal over on that far side. Ben White. And now it's back with David Raya. His mistake now for that second goal suddenly isn't looking quite as important as it was maybe 10 minutes ago when we were 2-0 down. It is now 2-2. That's the ball over the top again, looking for a Trossard. What a first touch that was, actually. Brilliant from the little Belgium. And he tries to wriggle away. And then Eddie's committed a foul there on Casado. And he's going to get himself a yellow card, Eddie Nketiah. And we are now into the last 90 seconds of normal time at the end of this game. Well, it was a bit late there from Eddie, actually, on Casado. But Trossard did really well, actually, there. And then the ball ran loose, and it is a free kick to Chelsea. Are we going to get a dramatic finish here? We're into the last minute of the 90. How much stoppage time will there be, do we think? I don't know, 5 minutes, maybe 5 minutes, I would say. There wasn't much in the first half when you had that VAR check. I'm a little bit surprised about that. So maybe they'll add a bit more on in the second half. So maybe we'll get 6 or 7. Maybe. Let's wait and see. Anyway, Chelsea coming forward at the moment. There's still enough time for somebody to win this game. And it does look more likely to be Arsenal at this moment in time. Rajandra says it could be either way. It could be either way, but we just look the more likely now, don't we? We've got our tails up. And we look the more likely to score a third goal. But you never know. You never know. We are into the last 30 seconds of normal time. We're going to find out the stoppage time to come and see what the referee or what the fourth official is going to hold up. Arsenal are in possession over on that far side. Nice little flick inside. This is good play from Arsenal. Declan Rice, he's got Trossard on this near side, but that wasn't a great ball to him, actually. It was well cut out there by Gusto. 7 minutes. 7 minutes of stoppage time. There is going to be 7 minutes of stoppage time. So there's plenty of time for somebody to win this game, whether it's going to be Arsenal or whether it's going to be Chelsea. Ben White has just committed a foul over on that far side. You might have silly hair, mate, but we know who you are. You can't get away with stuff like that. You stand out too much now. Anyway, it was a foul there on the substitute, Madiki, and it's going to be a free kick to Chelsea over on that far side. So Arsenal a bit more, and the yellow card for Ben White as well. he looks strange with that hair. I just can't get my head around it. I'm sorry. It's just freaking me out. Anyway, Chelsea with a ball into the box there, but it's far too close to David Raya. And we have played nearly a minute of stoppage time. So there's going to be 6 minutes left for Arsenal to try and get a winning goal. And that would be absolutely amazing, wouldn't it? When you think we were 2-0 down and not really going anywhere in this game at all. It was really, really poor. And then suddenly we got gifted a goal from nothing when Robert Sanchez's clearance went straight to Declan Rice. And now we've managed to find an equaliser. A really good goal that was from Trossard. Great cross from Saka it was that led to it. And suddenly now it's all to play for in stoppage time, isn't it? And it is going to be an exciting finish to this game. There's no doubt about that. Let's see if Arsenal can find a victory, a winning goal. It's incredible enough as it is that we might end up getting a point from this game, because it looked like we were clueless. We were going nowhere, and suddenly from nothing, we've suddenly got it back to 2-2. It's amazing, isn't it? Anyway, it is a throw to Arsenal on halfway. Ben White over on that far side throws it up the line. It's flicked on by Kai Havertz, and again Ben White wins that header, but Chelsea get possession on this near side, but not for long. Ben White clips it up the line again, but Chelsea deal with it. It's a throw though to Arsenal. We're putting the pressure on here, aren't we, in these last few moments here? We played 2 minutes of stoppage time. There's 5 minutes left. There's plenty of time. 5 minutes is enough time to get a goal or two, isn't it? Let's see if we can. Ben White with a long throw. It's flicked on there by Havertz again. It's just hoofed long by Chelsea, and Gabriel just heads it back to goalkeeper David Raya. Arsenal is running forward now, looking to try to get the 3 points. Declan Rice's long ball up that far side, but it's over, hit that. It's gone out for a throw to Chelsea. As Ben White's got to run back to do some defending now. We just can't afford to give away a goal now, can we? We can't afford to lose this game, having managed to get ourselves back into it again. But Chelsea look as though they've run out of their legs a little bit now. They put a lot into this game for so long, but maybe we managed to keep ourselves alive, and we've kept ourselves in it. And with 4 minutes of stoppage time to play, we have still got a chance to actually get all 3 points, which would be just madness, really, wouldn't it? Ben White's won the ball over on that far side. Also coming forward now. Eddie Nketiah tries a shot straight at goalkeeper Robert Sanchez. Is that going to be the chance for Arsenal to win it? But Chelsea now maybe going to try and win it themselves. Reece James, been out a long time, hasn't he? Chelsea now coming forward on this near side with gusto, plays it back to Reece James again. Chelsea made some defensive substitutions, didn't they, to try and hang on to the lead. And that's the trouble, isn't it? As a manager, it's quite tough, isn't it? Because you make those substitutions to try and get yourself over the line. You then concede a goal, and then it's like you don't have the same attacking impetus to win the game. But Chelsea are trying to come forward there, but Arsenal deal with that. And now Arsenal got a counter-attacking opportunity. Emil Smith-Rowe plays it out to Saka over on that far side. Saka plays the ball up the line, looking for Eddie Nketiah, trying to get him behind, but he can't on this occasion. Thiago Silva deals with that, plays it back to Robert Sanchez, and we have got 3 minutes of stoppage time to play. And Arsenal in a bit of a muddle in midfield, but the ball goes high rather than out, and Gabriel is trying to battle away to win it, but he doesn't do it. Now Chelsea have got a chance here. What is clean through on goal? Is it Nicholas Jackson? A shot across the goalie. Good save from David Raya. He may have made a mistake earlier on there, but he's kept Arsenal alive in that particular moment there. Good effort that was there from Chelsea. I think it was Nicholas Jackson. And a good save from David Raya, actually. That shot was going across the goalkeeper. Dangerous effort that was. Good save from Raya. And it is going to be a free kick now to Arsenal. It's going to show that foul there. It was a foul by Caicedo on Bukayo Saka. And it is going to be a free kick. And Caicedo has done himself a bit of an injury there. Which your own fault, mate. You shouldn't keep committing stupid fouls, should you? Then you wouldn't get injured, would you? But anyway, it is going to be a free kick to Arsenal. A bit more stoppage time is going to be added. We've played 5 of the 7, but there's going to be a bit more now. Still time. There is still time for Arsenal to win. But let's be honest, I think every single one of us will be over the moon with a draw with the way this game's played out over the course of the 90 minutes. Well, 95 minutes as we've played. Anyway, David Raya is going to take this free kick. It's only, 15 yards inside the Arsenal half. And he's going to go long We come down towards the closing stages of this game. Are Arsenal going to find a winner? A long ball forward. It's flicked on. It comes to Eddie Nketiah on the edge of the penalty area, but actually the referee's given a free kick there against Kai Havertz for a foul on Cucurella, who was holding his head, and he's okay. Look, what a surprise. It was Kai Havertz there. I mean, he did catch him there. I mean, he did catch him with his arm as he was jumping for the ball. It was a foul, but Cucurella made sure that the referee was going to give it. And it is a free kick to Chelsea. We've got the last minute. We're into the last minute of the 7, but there may be slightly more added on following that little injury there to Casado a few seconds ago. And it's going to be a throw to Arsenal. One more chance, maybe. Are we going to get, do you think, guys? Are we going to get one more chance or not? We shall see. Cole Palmer has been given player of the match. He had a good game, you have to say. He did have a good game. I thought Sterling had a good game for Chelsea as well. No one from Arsenal has really played that well, but we still might win the game. Emil Smith-Rowe plays it up that far side. All the balls fell kindly, almost fell kindly there. In fact, it's not because it's a free kick to Chelsea. We're up now to the 7 minutes. That free kick was taken too quickly there. We will have a bit more stoppage time because there's another stoppage now, another Chelsea injury over on that far side. Now they're taking a free kick. There's not going to, maybe there might be one chance for somebody to win this game, but either team, we'll have to see. Nathan says, I think Rice has done okay. In fact, there goes the full-time whistle. The full-time whistle has gone. It has finished here at Stamford Bridge. Arsenal remain unbeaten. The Invincible Part 2 is still on. It's finished here at Stamford Bridge. Chelsea 2, Arsenal 0. Chelsea will feel absolutely shocked that they never won that game. They were 2-0 up. It was a penalty very early in this game from Cole Palmer following a handball from William Saliba. A goal at the very start of the second half from Mikola Mudryk, a cross really that he mishit that went in to the goal, deceived goalkeeper David Raya. And it looked as though it was all over. Chelsea had 2 or 3 opportunities to get the third goal. We hung on, and then we were gifted away back. The Chelsea goalkeeper, Robert Sanchez, passed the ball straight to Declan Rice, who put it in the net from about 35 yards to make it 2-1. And then in the last 10 minutes, it was a cross from that far side. Bukayo Saka it was, and substitute Leandro Trossard came in to force the ball home. We didn't quite get a big opportunity to win it, did we, after that? In fact, neither team did. And maybe Arsenal will be satisfied with a draw here today because it wasn't a particularly good Arsenal performance. Mikel Arteta was given a yellow card as well. Not quite sure why. He just hasn't embraced there with Cole Palmer. Of course, he would have known Cole Palmer from the Man City days, wouldn't he? Off-road says that Arteta to blame for 2 drop points. Where was Partey? We are much better than the Chelsea should have won that. Well, you say that, but we wasn't today, was we? We wasn't much better than Chelsea today. For 75 minutes of this game, they were much better than us. But we hung in there. We took our luck when we got it with the Declan Rice goal, and we managed to show the quality to get a draw. And I think a draw is the most we deserved out of that game. Phil says, relieved to get a point out of that very subpar. But yeah, I agree, mate. It was a really poor performance for so much of the game. And yeah, relieved to get a draw is pretty much where we are. I agree with you. I feel the same. We didn't deserve any more than that from the game. In fact, if you looked at the game as a whole, we probably didn't even deserve a draw, did we? But we'll take it. And I say, Invincibles Part 2, who knows? We're 10 games in, 9 games in, sorry. We're joint top with Manchester City, 2 goals worse off than them. And of course, Tottenham will go top tomorrow on Monday. Sorry, if they beat Fulham on Monday night. So that's going to be nice for them, isn't it? Anyway, it's difficult to really know, isn't it, what to make of that, because we were poor for so long in that game. We looked dead and buried. So we've got to be happy that we've managed to come away with something, a point. We've got to be happy with that, haven't we? But as a performance overall, it certainly was nowhere near the level of performance that we expect, from this team. It was really poor today, but we've managed to avoid a defeat at what is a difficult place to come. Yes, we've had some wins here in the last few years, but Chelsea have been in some good form recently, and to come back from 2-0 down shows a lot of character. It does. There's no doubt about that, and we've got to be pleased with that. Pleased with the point. I think we'll move on. Steve there, he agrees. Yeah, I suppose it's pretty much right. Terry says, Stevie, mate, how's your mum? Yeah, how's your mum? Is she okay? Is she, Steve? I know she had a bit of an accent last week, didn't she? Steve says they're not surprised. Oh, good. Oh, good. I'm glad she's okay. Daniel says the ref wanted to finish the game there and there, giving Chelsea all the fouls in the last 7 minutes. Well, I don't know about that. Off-road says we were lucky. Arteta's tactics didn't work. No, they didn't. You're right. Nathan says, thanks for the commentary, Rich. Enjoy the rest of your night, everyone. And yourself, mate. Yeah, have a good evening. I'm back tomorrow, of course, for the Arsenal women's game. It's the late one, though, isn't it? It's the 7:15 kickoff, so I'll be at 6:30. If you want to join me again and watch the women's game against Bristol City, and hopefully they should be able to win that game. Newly promoted Bristol City, Arsenal, of course, back following that good victory last weekend. Make it 2 in a row before the international break will be good, wouldn't it? But that's all coming up for you tomorrow. But yeah, we've got to be pleased with a point, haven't we? Off-road says their Man U game will be emotional. Well, yeah, I mean, it would have been even more emotional, wouldn't it, if it was at home? The fact it's away, maybe not quite so, but it's an emotional time for obviously the Man United fans and everybody connected to the club. You know, I mean, Bobby Charlton has been there, hasn't he? You know, he's always at the game, wasn't he? You know, such a big part of Manchester United, but such a big part of English football history. You know, and it is a really sad news today. Actually, really, really sad news. Of course, it was only a couple of years ago. His brother died as well, wasn't it? I mean, I was in Ashington, which is obviously where they were born, the Charlton brothers. A few months ago, filming a video, I went to see the Jackie Charlton statue in Hurst Park, which is good. And maybe they'll put one of Bobby there as well now next to him. That'd be nice, wouldn't it? What a great little statue that would be, wouldn't it, with the two brothers? Because I don't think there's a statue of Bobby Charlton, sorry, probably because he was still alive. Maybe that was why. But yeah, it'd be nice if they could get one together, wouldn't it, in Ashington, of course, which is where they were born. But General says we need to be undefeated to beat Man City. Well, if we're undefeated, you mean all season if we're going to finish above Man City? Well, I don't know, because we're undefeated now and they've lost the game and they're still above us, aren't they? So I don't know what more we can do other than stop dropping silly points in 2-2 draws that we should win or we've been in a position to win. Not so much today. Today's a different one, isn't it? We'll take a draw today. But Daniel says, "Come on, Fulham." See, I've done a bad thing actually. We started at work this week a new last man standing, and I was looking through the fixtures, thinking, who can I pick this week? Because what last man standing is, you pick a team every week, and your team has to win for you to go through. If they draw or they lose, you're out, and then whoever's left at the end wins the money. So I looked through the fixtures, and it was quite tricky this week, wasn't it? When you look through the games. Now there was 3 games today I kind of was looking at, which was Brentford against Burnley, and I thought Brentford would win that. They did. Newcastle against Palace. Newcastle obviously won. I was thinking of Nottingham Forest at home to Luton, but that ended in a draw, so I'm glad I didn't go with them. But what I did go with, and I do apologise to everybody, I went with Tottenham against Fulham, because Fulham are absolutely terrible and Tottenham are doing well, aren't they? So as much as it would be, as much as I don't really want Tottenham to win to go top of the league, it doesn't matter at this point in the season. I'd probably have to have picked Tottenham 1 week, wouldn't I? Let's get them out of the way early doors. So they might as well beat Fulham. It's only 1 game, isn't it? They'll lose plenty of games later on, won't they? So let them win this week, and then we'll go from there. But yeah, I feel bad but I would have had to pick them 1 week, wouldn't I? I wasn't going to pick Arsenal this week because I thought Chelsea was always going to be a tricky game. I'm glad I didn't. Now, obviously, I would have been out. I'll maybe pick Arsenal when we're at home to Sheffield United next week. That might be my week to pick, assuming Tottenham do win, because I might get knocked out. It'd be my own fault, wouldn't it? Let's be honest. If Tottenham don't win on Monday, it's my own fault if I get knocked out of the last man standing, wouldn't it? So I can just hold my hands up. It's my fault, isn't it, for picking them? But there you go. It's just that it looked like one of the more banker games, didn't it? Anyway, Oppo says there. Wash your mouth out. So, yeah, I know. No, I've already. Don't worry. I've already spoken to myself about it. Yesterday, I had to make a decision at work quickly before 2:00 yesterday, and I made that decision looking at the other games. I just felt that seemed to be the most likely, win of everybody's. But anyway, let's see what happens on let's see what happens on Monday. But yeah, at least I won't have to pick them again either way, so that'd be good. But yeah, if I make it through to the next round, I'll be picking Arsenal next week against Sheffield United because we're at home and let's be honest, if you can't beat Sheffield United at home, then you've got serious problems over there. Let's be honest. So yeah, so it'll be Arsenal next week for me, and then we'll see where we are after that. Now, the shots today: 13 for Arsenal, 11 to Chelsea, 5 on target for Chelsea, 3 on target for Arsenal, and 2 goals. That's not bad, though, is it? Touches in the opponent's box: 27 Chelsea, 19 Arsenal. Final third passes: 148 Arsenal, 77 Chelsea. Possession: 43 to Chelsea, 57 to Arsenal. I mean, you look at the statistics here and you think, okay, yeah, maybe a draw is actually a fair result. I'm not sure it was overall, but we'll take it. We'll take it, but of course we will. And that's how it is. Terry says, I'm surprised you was brave enough to tell us, let alone our lives. Well, you know, everybody's saying about, Fulham, come on, Fulham. Well, yeah, obviously we want Fulham to win, don't we? But my backup is if Tottenham do win, at least I'm through to the next round. So there you go. Which would be good. I mean, you know, it's money at stake, Terry. Come on. What are you doing? There's money at stake. But anyway, we'll see what happens. If I am still here next week, I will be picking Arsenal against Sheffield United. So anyway, but yeah, I didn't go with Arsenal this week, and I'm glad I didn't now because I kind of felt this was always going to be a difficult game. With the form that Chelsea were coming into it in, the international breakdown seemed to have done us a lot of favours in terms of momentum. But these are the sort of games, aren't they, where if you remember in the Invincible season, we had 1 or 2 of these, didn't we, along the way? Of course, the famous one at Old Trafford where we were so close to losing with that penalty that Van Nistelrooy hit the bar with. And if you're going to be successful, sometimes you have to find a way to get results when you don't play well. And that is what's happened. And that's what's happened with Arsenal today. We didn't play well. We were 2-0 down. Looked like we'd lost the game, but we found a way to get a result out of it. And yeah, unbeaten in 9 games still. And who knows, we move on and Invincibles Part 2, as we say, may well have happened. Offo says, later folks see me do it. Yes, my friend, we will see you on Tuesday, isn't it? The Champions League game against Sevilla. So yeah, join me for that one as well. That's going to be good. Terry says, things people do. Well, money's the root of all evil, my friend. It is the root of all evil, and it's just that I've just proved it, haven't I? It's maybe go evil by backing Tottenham. But I'd have had to have picked them 1 week, wouldn't I? Because you have to go through every team. You can't pick the same team twice. So I'd have to pick them at some point. Might as well get them done early. And I'll either get knocked out early, which is fine, because that's fine because I haven't won, or they get me through, and I don't have to do it again, do I? I don't have to think about them. So I thought it was the best tactic, wasn't it? Anyway, we'll see if it works out. But yeah, if I win the money, what I'll do is I'll raffle it off. I'll buy something on Amazon and I'll give it away as a prize on the channel. How's that? Does that make up for it then? So if I win the money in this competition, I'll buy something Arsenal related and give it away as a prize on the channel. There you go. That's what I'll do. But we'll see. Long way to go, of course, yet. So now you wanted Tottenham to win on Monday night, aren't you? You've changed your mind, haven't you? Terry says, that's why Facebook should. That might be. Well, no, it's not, because they already shut me down before. It was before that, wasn't it? I don't know what I've done. Regenda says, see a midweek game. We only had 12 likes, not enough to score a third goal. Yeah, that's the reason. We always know, don't we, Regina? We say it every week, don't we? If you don't like the show, Arsenal aren't going to win. Won't you be in tomorrow, Regina, for the women's game, or are you actually going? Are you going to that one? Because obviously the women are playing tomorrow, aren't they, at 6:30. So I'll be here for that. Well, we'll play at 7:15. Terry says, later, Regina, indeed. Yeah, if it's only 12 likes, then what do you expect, really? You got it's your own fault, isn't it? Let's be honest, that we didn't win that game, even though we didn't play very well. But we're still unbeaten in the Premier League, so that's a good sign, isn't it? And we've got this big game in midweek, of course, as we know, against Sevilla, and we need to get a result there, don't we? Now, following that defeat in our last game, Magenda says, "Women's game, I'll be there." Oh, good stuff, mate. Good stuff. But it should be a good win for Arsenal. Magenda says, "Hopefully, 40 likes." But yeah, the women's games tend to get more likes, don't they? They get more people watching them. I don't know why. I don't know why, but anyway, it's the way it is, which is fine. We don't mind, do we? But yeah, so it's a big game on Tuesday, isn't it, in the Champions League? Now we need to bounce back from that Lens game. We need a result, and then that'll put us in a very strong position to qualify. But of course, the double header against Seville is going to be important, isn't it? Because say we only got 1 point from them 2 games, we're going to struggle to get the top 2, aren't we? It's going to be a bit of a struggle. So we really do need to pick up a result, don't we, in midweek as well. So we're going to have to play better than we did today, though. There's no doubt about that, isn't there? Vijendra says, we are the only women's show and you are fair to all the teams. I don't know if it's the only women's show. I think that I don't know any other channels that's been doing a weekly women's show for the last 3 years like we have. And I don't know a show that's been doing the regular women's watchalongs for 3 years as we have. I don't know. There may well be. But we do what we do. I mean, I try and be fair because ultimately, it's what it's about, isn't it? It's no good. I know some of the Arsenal channels don't want to entertain anything else, but for me, it's football, isn't it? Of course, we want Arsenal to win. We want Arsenal to be successful, but you need to be fair to the opposition. Like today, Chelsea played well, didn't they? Chelsea deserve something from that game. They got a draw. They probably deserve to win, but we'll take the draw. Of course we will. We're happy with it, but you've got to give the opponents credit as well, haven't you? Chelsea did play really well for much of that game today. Terry says the Arsenal women are more entertaining. To watch, they are 100%. I think so. I definitely think so. Yeah, and certainly over the last 3 or 4 years, mainly, I've enjoyed watching women's football more actually than the men's football. I never thought that would happen. I've always enjoyed women's football, going back a long time, but I never thought I would get to the point where I actually preferred it to men's football. And I think I've reached that point over the last couple of years. And as time goes on more and more, so I say I'm not enjoying watching men's football as much these days as I used to, and women's football's improved so much, and it is more entertaining. But maybe that's just me. That's just maybe me. But I kind of agree. It is entertaining, and I do enjoy it as well. And I've been live to more women's games than men's games over the last 2 seasons, so that sums it up for me. That shows how I've moved across really. But of course, the men's games we're still there, aren't we? Redenda says we do support Arsenal, and obviously Beth is back. Of course, yeah, Beth is back. Terry says there, you're just football mad. Yeah, I mean, the football is what's been a big part of my life since I was 9 years old. So it's not going to change, is it? I'm not going to suddenly not follow football. It's just I say I don't enjoy the men's games as much as the women's games now, and I don't enjoy it as I used to, and it's a shame in many ways. And maybe that'll come back. I don't know. And even though Arsenal now are doing a lot better, we've got a very good team. I don't know. I'm not sure. Maybe winning the Premier League this season, if we did, might bring that excitement back. I don't know, but anyway. Vijendra says, you're on Talk TV again. No, I don't think so, because that show on a Sunday is normally mainly about the game played on a Sunday. And because we played on Saturday, they won't really be covering the Arsenal game this week. But next time we play on a Sunday, which will be, I can't remember what game it is. It'll be next time we're playing on a Sunday anyway. That's when I'll be on. Obviously, I wouldn't be able to be on tomorrow anyway, because the show's on at 7 o'clock and the women are on. I'll be doing the women's game, so I wouldn't have gone on anyway tomorrow. But no, they don't really cover the Saturday games like that. They mention them, but they don't have people in. It's only when we're playing on Sunday. So I will be on again probably in a few weeks' time. But no, not this week, unfortunately. But yeah, I'll be doing a women's game anyway at like 7 o'clock. So but yes, that's it today then. I mean, Arsenal got away with one. We did get away with one there. But you get them every season, don't you? And it's finding a way to get a result is the mark of a successful team. Majandra says, saw it on YouTube. Yeah, it's on YouTube. Yeah, on YouTube, they want to tell you, I think, somewhere along the way. I don't know. But yeah, I tend to put the video on YouTube anyway, what we've done. But yeah, so we got away with one today, didn't we? We have to accept that. We wasn't great, but we found a way, and that's all you can do, isn't it? If you don't play well and you don't lose, you've got to be happy with that. And yeah, let's see what happens now, obviously midweek. But I'll be back tomorrow for the women's game. 6:30 tomorrow evening. The late kickoff, not ideal, is it, on a Sunday? But it should be a good game. Arsenal away at Bristol City. Hopefully we can win that game. So join me for that 6:30. Then of course Tuesday night it is Champions League night. We're playing Sevilla, of course, 8 o'clock kickoff. So I'll be live at 7:45 for that one. So join me for that because that's going to be great as well. And then of course next weekend it is international break for the women, but the women are playing, aren't they, on Friday, I think. So I'll be doing a watch along of that game. The England Lionesses, of course, playing Belgium. Then of course next Saturday Arsenal play Sheffield United at home. I'll be covering that game as well. And then the Lionesses again on there. I think it's a Tuesday after, isn't it? And then it's Champions League again, all kinds of stuff going on. So I know, sorry, it'd be the following week. It's the West Ham game in the Carabao Cup, isn't it? And then of course it's Newcastle away, which I may well be going to. Actually, Arsenal against Newcastle away. I'm trying to get a ticket for that, but we shall see. Regina says hopefully not too much rain there. No, hopefully not. No, we'll have to see. Terry says, Richard, I like the way you don't change your views no matter what show you're on and talk to people. Well, you know, I just like to. I just want to try to just be me. That's it. You know, some people like it and some people don't, and that's fine. And that's cool. Where are we? Regina says, see you tomorrow. Bye to all indeed. Regina says, yep, see you tomorrow, which will be great. Yep, see you later, mate. Ta-da. Thanks for watching. We will see you tomorrow, no doubt, for the women's show. So yeah, Arsenal got away one today. We were 2-0 down. Penalty from Cole Palmer and a rather fluky cross that went in from Mikhail Modric. But Arsenal came back. We were gifted the first goal. A terrible mistake by Robert Sanchez, and Declan Rice slotted it in. And then late on in the game, Bukayo Saka's brilliant cross from the right, and Leandro Trossard, substitute, arrived around the back post, poked it in, bang, 2-2. We'll take that all day long. Unbeaten in 9, 6 wins and 3 draws. We're just level at Man City at the top of the table, just those 2 goals better, worse off. But you know, we're neck and neck with City at this point in the season, which is great, isn't it? So that was rather fun, wasn't it? Not maybe the performance we hoped for, but certainly we'll take a draw. We said before the game, didn't we? Joe was in. He said, "Would we take a draw?" We said yes. I said, "I'll take a draw." We got a draw from 2-0 down, even better, isn't it? And we've come back from 2-0 down at Chelsea a few times in the past, as we said. So we have a habit of doing this, don't we? So yeah, that's that finished in a draw today. I'll be back tomorrow at 6:30. Arsenal women away at Bristol City. Join me for that because that is going to be good. I've got some nice little goal graphics as well, new colours for the new kits as well, which I don't know what kit Arsenal women are wearing tomorrow. They won't be to wear red all at Bristol City, so it's going to be one of the new kits. So I've got some new graphics for that as well. So yeah, so join me for that. And just before we go, of course, again, just really want to say, you know, massive thoughts go out to everybody connected with obviously the Charlton family, Manchester United, and everybody who was close to the great legend that was Sir Bobby, of course, who died today. Terry says, Richard, have a great rest of your Saturday and Sunday, and the girls will make it a blinding one. Yeah, I'm sure they will. Yeah, enjoy the rest of your evening. Steve says, did Jesus and Martinelli play? They did, yeah. They both played. Jesus went off later on for Nketiah, and Martinelli went off for Trossard. Later on, of course, Trossard it was got the goal, but yeah, they both started, yeah. So it was, yeah. It wasn't a great performance, Steve. If you missed the game, I think you missed a lot of it, didn't you? But you didn't miss much in terms of performance. You come up for the best bit, didn't you? You tuned in at the end when the best bit was, so you made the right choice, didn't you? Anyway, join us tomorrow if you can at 6:30. I will see you for that one. We scraped a draw today. We'll take it, won't we? And we'll go back across London and enjoy the rest of your Saturday evening, guys. Whatever you're doing, if you're watching the Man United game now, enjoy that. I'm sure they'll win just on the back of the emotion involved. But anyway, that's about to kick off very shortly at Bramall Lane. So yeah, enjoy that. Enjoy the rest of your evening, and I will see you tomorrow at 6:30 for the women. We got something today, and we'll take it, won't we? We'll move on, and hopefully the women can get all 3 points tomorrow. Come on, you Gunners. See you tomorrow, guys. Take it easy. Thanks for watching. Ta-ra.